us up last week about being not good enough. We didn't deserve. We got this guy Shap saying that we don't deserve the number one pick. A team like the Jets doesn't deserve to be rewarded with a guy like Trevor Lawrence. This is the shit we hear. So we win a game. Everybody's supposed to be happy. What does the NFL media do? They laugh at us. You guys couldn't even do that. You can't even lose right. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, and it cuts both ways for us. So, you.
There I am. Holy cow, I'm on my third internet of the day already. What's happening, everybody? How are we doing today? How do you feel? John Holton, Friedlander, we're all here. How do you feel? Do you like this bullshit about COVID taking out all their wide receivers? Do you like this bullshit that the Jacksonville Jaguars are showing us how to tank? What the hell is going on? But I'll tell you, Holton has a pretty good mindset. He shared it with me this morning. If there's ever been a positive person, it's John Holton, and he's in here with us right now. John, why don't you share with everybody what you think is happening today? I loved it. You put me in a good mood. I was grumbling around, and I read your comment, and I said, oh, my gosh, that's actually not too bad right there. Gina Arena is here. If any of you guys saw my initial podcast, Greg Tarr, I'm blacked out? What do you mean I'm blacked out? Am I blacked out now? Let me see. Hold on. How about now, Greg Tarr? Am I here? Can you guys see me? You like that lid? I clearly, you can see me if you said nice lid. But so a couple things. John Holton, thank you for telling me, though, Greg. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'm back on. Let me know I'm good. You got it. Okay, great. Thank you. What's up, Travis? So John Holton. Oh, there it is. That's not the one I wanted to put up. Timothy Walker here. Happy holidays to you, my friend. So John Holton shared with me this morning that he is feeling pretty damn positive, and he thinks that the Jags win by 17 points today. What do you guys think of that? You know, they bench Minshew, and Glennon's going to come in and say, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to win. And the team is really pissed that they're benching the running back, and they're going to go out there and blow out the Bears. What do you guys think of that? Anybody agree? I love it. I think that's pretty killer. What's up, Ed Stewart? So you guys ponder that real quick, and I'll tell you a story. As you can see, there's somebody in here named Gina Arena. Where'd she go? There she goes. Says, hi, everyone. Look at her. She's beautiful. If you saw my most recent podcast, which was my first podcast, thank you for all the support. It's been incredible. But that's the Gina that's the aunt I'm talking about, who took me to the ground round as a 9-year-old boy to watch the Jets get their ass kicked in the Mud Bowl in the AFC Championship game in 1982. And for some reason, that experience made me want to be a fan. I don't understand the logic, but that's what happened. So, a no shot, Travis? Come on, John Holton's giving it to us. What's up, Reaper? I read some stuff, man. I'm gonna reach out today. After this, of course. I'm excited. Tim Walker, Ed Stewart is up. Reaper's here. Everybody's here. Travis Henderson, Illuminati. What's up, buddy? Ed Stewart. E-Rock's here. It's another positive guy that's been helping me out this week. I know, Greg. This is the very realistic fear right now, and Greg Tarr's nailing it. Can you believe that 2 days before the game with these guys, they're supposed to beat us, you know? Their entire wide receiver core gets COVID or is on the list for being a high risk, and nobody's coming. So they're bringing down a bunch of people that weren't playing. I think there's some practice squad. They may or may not have signed someone, and we might see some tight end heavy looks today. But how crazy is that? That's right. Yeah, see, Ed, you remember the Mud Bowl? You guys remember a place called the Ground Round? The Ground Round. It was famous for they had buckets of peanuts, and you were allowed to throw your peanut shells on the floor. What an idea. What an idea, huh? Come on in, throw your shit on the floor. It's who we are. So you walked around and everybody's broken, spit out peanut shells. It's amazing that they're not still around. So it is 12:59. We are about to watch potentially Adam Gase's last game as the New York Jets head coach, and I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say his last game as an NFL head coach, period. This guy sucks. This guy is clearly, without question, the worst head coach we've ever had, because at least Kotite tried. At least Kotite would in his interviews, he sounded like a bumbling idiot, but he was trying to figure it out. He didn't come out and say, well, if Wayne Corbett didn't drop that pass, or if my lineman blocked, or he didn't say any of that shit. He took it on the chin, so much so that Kotite actually resigned. What's up, MC? Good to see you, buddy. So Kotite, I don't know if everybody remembers that. He didn't get fired. He had so much respect for the Jets and for Leon Hess, who went out on a limb when he fired Pete Carroll and grabbed Rich Kotite. He respected him so much he didn't want to put him in that position. So I think it was 2 games before the end of the season, like right where we are now, Kotite handed in his resignation, said, I'll finish the year, but then I'm gone. So Adam Gase is the worst coach we've ever had. Even the embarrassing half season of Lou Holtz, which if you guys aren't old enough to remember that, I'm not old enough to remember it, but I researched it. You want to talk about embarrassing. The guy was one of the greatest college coaches of all time, comes to the Jets, and the big thing, he works for weeks on our fight song. He thinks that creating a New York Jets fight song is what it's going to take to get us over the hump. He was gone mid-season. He didn't even make it. Yeah, MC, so you know what I'm doing? I have I forget, I think it's through Verizon or something like that, but I have Sunday Ticket, and then I have another one called Fubo as my backup, which is way too expensive. Once the Jets are over, I'm canceling that shit. But really, I use Sunday Ticket. I have all kinds of memberships. I have like Game Pass and all that sort of stuff. But, so that's how I do it. It works most of the time, but a lot of the times it's more internet problems for me. But what, Greg, that's does Texas Roadhouse allow you to put peanut shells on the floor? Is that what they do? I never been in there. I can't bring myself to go into a chain steakhouse. I used to like Outback years and years ago when they first came out. I like the coconut shrimp, but I have a lot of difficulty going into a chain steakhouse. You guys are up in New Jersey. You know the steakhouse in New Jersey, right? Does everybody know which one it is? Everybody know the best steakhouse in New Jersey? It's hidden. It's a goodie, man. It's the best steakhouse without question. Anybody know? Tom Langley, Merry Christmas to you, sir. Oh, you're smart, man. Someone brought you a Jets hat for Christmas. I returned it and bought beer. Dude, look at this. Tom Langley for president. Look at this. Oh, wow. Incredible, Langley. Truly. I'm proud to know you, man. And I mean that sincerely. That's awesome sauce. Yeah, Blake, how you doing, buddy? I hope the next coach is competitive as well. I think, look, man, I really think, I believe this, and I'm not, as you guys know, I can lean Homer. Hold on, my son's hitting my daughter right now. I definitely lean Homer, but I'm very critical. I'm not just like the Jets can do no wrong or anything like that. But I really look like as you guys, if you hang around with me at all, you know, I really, really look. And I really believe that the minute Gase is fired, the hierarchy that we've seen for the past 10 years, it's really 8 years, is gone. I think it's Joe Douglas's team, and I trust Joe Douglas to do this the right way. Hey, I'm gonna tell you. Nice run back, everybody. You see that? Merry Christmas, Eric. Yeah, Timothy. I was too young to drink in the ground round before they shut down the joint. I do remember the peanuts though. Thor, Usher, look at you guys. This is great, man. I'm happy to have you guys. Blake, John Hample, Jags, Jags. I am psyched about the Jags. I can't believe how blatant they are. And it shows you how we should have did it. Look, I mean, Joe Douglas did a lot, man. He traded our leaders. He traded some of our best guys. He cut Le'Veon Bell. So he did a lot to try to tank. Look at that. Was that a catch? Frankie Louvu. But benching your quarterback, benching your star running back, that is impressive. John Post, what's up, buddy? Let me see. What are you talking? If JD hires Dabo Swinney, do you think Trevor could be enticed to pulling Eli Manning? Yeah, I don't think Sweeney's leaving, honestly. I don't know. I think that would be perceived as like a pretty big dick move by the NFL. I think that would be pretty shitty. Like if he basically talked, you know what I mean? Because that would be looked at. It's not like Eli and Elway they didn't want to play for the organizations for whatever they had their reasons, but they weren't coerced by the trading team to do that. That would be considered tampering and all kinds of stuff. I think they'd get in a lot of trouble. Honestly, I do. Oh, Ain, what's up, buddy? I'm happy to see you. Hey, you got to get out of the way. Ain Wayne is here. Look at this. Oh, my God, they suck. Who was that? Was that Hunt? Farley making the play. What's up, Mess? I see you, buddy. I'm telling you, this is the thing. Last week, the way I see it, guys, is last week, the only thing that changed was that we weren't together as a unit from the beginning of that game. And I apologize. My wife surprised me with sorry, look at this. Look at Barrios. Come on. Okay. So my wife surprised me for my birthday with forged, like, that Forged in Fire show, like a lesson to like learn how to forge, like banging on metal and putting it in and all that shit and heating it up. So that was planned for a while. And I thought, honestly, I wouldn't even have done it, but it was the Rams game. I thought that was the safest game. Ugh, I'm still a little bit upset by it, but that is some bullshit right there. Eric, what's up? Merry Christmas. Look at all. So that's how I see it. Big Frank's here. What's up? 3-0 for the Browns. That's not good. Look, oh, that should have been a pick. Dude, this Sam Darnold guy, man, it's like, I don't even know what to think about this guy. Well, they've done, when it comes to protecting Sam Darnold, I think some of it has to do with him hanging on. So the offensive line, yes, Becton is going to be the anchor. He will be the anchor for quite some time. Dude, you saw how much time Sam had there. That wasn't pressure. Eventually the line's going to wear down. That wasn't pressure, man. Look, let's watch the line. Nice pocket. Look at this. Perryman. This is let's see. Okay, I got to back up and see what you guys are talking about here. We are still going to get the number 1 pick. I'm going to put this one up so you can see it. We're still going to get the number 1 pick. We're still getting T-Law, and Cowher will coach. Holy shit. We got to hang out with Reaper more. Because let me tell you something. I'm in. I'm going to buy that. I'm going to think it. I'm going to push forward in my brain whatever energy waves I can do. How great would it be if we still got the number 1 pick? We took Trevor Lawrence, and Bill Cowher came in and got like Todd Monken and Marvin Lewis as his coordinators. Wouldn't that be good? I think it would. Jim Carter. All right, here's an alternative thought process. Let's see what he's got. I hope the Jets win again. Something for you tankers to consider. Do you honestly think Belichick would have allowed us to lose the final game and get Lawrence? Right. No matter what, there is no way we would have ended up. I know. That's not it's not a bad point, man. It's like it's almost better just to get it over with and accept it now, right? And I get it. But let's see how things go. But the way I see it is that we definitely shouldn't have lost. Look at this. We definitely shouldn't have beaten the Rams. That's it, man. We should not have beaten that damn team, and we shouldn't beat the Browns. And then that would have put it where Jim Carter's talking about it, would have put it in there, and then we could have handled that however we wanted to. You know what I mean? But I hear you, dude. That would have made it even more frustrating. You know what I'm saying? Swinney can be 3 elite quarterbacks in a row. He solidifies himself as one of the best colleges. Yeah, I know, Reaper. That's not a bad point about Swinney. I really don't think he's leaving college. He's literally the king down there in Clemson. There's nobody bigger than him. T. Lawrence is right now, but it's like, dude, he's the king of the roost, and he's making he making like $8 million a year? You think the Jets are going to beat that? I don't know. Yes, Iraq. This is a big one, and we'll talk about this during commercial. We've heard lots of rumors of JD being well respected throughout the league. Do you agree? That would absolutely lock us into a good coach candidate. Well, this is the thing. If you guys saw the video that I put on Jet Nation this week, it was the name of the video was Marvin Lewis, but as the coach, but there's more to it. So I'll tell you guys, this isn't my source. But the guy who has the source allowed me to use the information, okay? Like we all talk, and I just asked him, hey, do you mind? I don't want to get anybody in trouble. And he said it was fine. So the big part of that was that, number one, the Jets are fully aware of how bad Adam Gase is and how bad his offenses are for specific players, developing players. They're very aware of the job that he did with Sam Darnold, no quarterback coach, Dowell Loggins, all the stuff we talk about. The Jets actually are aware of that and have zero intention of keeping him, which is the best news in the world for me. The other thing is that they're also well aware of how well thought of Joe Douglas is in the league, how good he is, and how good his upper management team is. So the Johnsons, who have actually gone outside and hired 2 separate times outside consultants to help them fucking hire GMs and coaches, they know what they have in Joe Douglas. So they're not going to tinker with it like a lot of us fear. They'll be in the room, they'll have their input, but they're going to defer to him, just like they did with Tannenbaum, okay? Or it wasn't even they at the time, it was Woody. So here's the thing, Iraq. I think absolutely Joe Douglas, it's not the same Jets. What? What's up? What are you playing?
Finally talking to him.
Yeah, I know, now. But it's not the same Jets. And we heard the reports coming out last year. Let's just watch the play. Baker Mayfield back to play. Handed it. Oh my God. Who's that? Henry Anderson?
I'm pretty sure. Well, no.
Who was that?
58.
Aker? Fuck is Aker? You see that? Who was that guy?
And Baltimore couldn't be in the playoffs.
So you remember, like when we saw it in free agency, it came out this year that the Jets were known by all the agents and other teams, the team to take advantage of. They knew that McCagnon did not know what the fuck he was doing. Okay, so every agents would say, "Hey, we're considering the Jets," and what that would do, it would raise teams' offers. There it goes.
Would raise players' offers.
Hooper. So last year, so like that's one of the things that that also came out of this report was that the Jets are aware of how bad Mike Maccagnan's reputation was and how bad the job he was, or that the job he actually did. So the Jets know everything now. The Johnsons are on board with what we hope they're on board with. And that's the best damn news that we could have heard. So what I was going to say, oh, look at Baker. Nice play action. Good play by Mollett. You got to let him catch that, asshole. So remember last year at the very beginning of free agency, everybody was freaking out that Joe Douglas isn't spending money. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. But he couldn't just do that. The thing he had to do first was change the perception that agents and other GMs and staff have of the New York Jets. And the way he did that was he slammed the door shut and said, fuck you. $5 million. That's what you get if you want to sign here. If not, see you later. He did that with numerous players. Look, now it blew up on with Robbie Anderson. It didn't work, okay? But it worked with Jenkins. It worked with Poole, okay? Both of those guys came for under, I think what Jenkins made 3.5 and Poole made 5. That's less than $9 million for both players. So, and he did that with numerous guys. So he had to change the perception first, guys. And that's what people are neglecting to really consider with Joe Douglas, is that it's not just what he does. It's what he changes. And it's not easy, man. The Jets have been a laughingstock for a decade. Like I said in my podcast, there are guys who are 20, 21, 22 years old as Jets fans. The last time we were respectable, they were 10. Look at that. Baker Mayfield. They were 10. So it's been that long since we've had any respectability. We've done a couple of nice things here and there. But look, dude, Todd Bowles is a slouch head coach. The hell was the name of his defensive coordinator? I forget. But his defensive coordinator, dude, he was so behind on the trends of the NFL, he couldn't keep up. He could not keep up. He was playing 86 ball in 2015. You know, what is it, Casey Rogers, right? Todd Bowles had 3 offensive coordinators in 4 years. So, like, dude, we're a laughingstock. And you look at the picks that Mike Maccagnan was making in the trades. Dude, we were so deep in the hole. So that's the thing with Joe Douglas. Yeah, MC. I got O'Leary and Ryan are coming on today. I didn't really talk to anybody else. I was doing some shit this morning. But, yeah, so they're going to be here at halftime. O'Leary and Ryan. If you want to come on, text me, man. Reach out on Instagram and just tell me when you do, and then give me your number again. It's in my email somewhere. But if you want to come on, I don't know if you can with the kids. Just let me know. Fire Joe Douglas. What are you talking about? Hey, Karan Veer, Manat, you got to give us more than that. You got to give us more. Fire Joe Douglas. You just heard I was just for 15 minutes talking about how large his penis is. You heard me. What is this? NFL HD Sports. So what do I got to delete you? Come on. What is that? I don't know what it is. You got to explain yourselves. I'm willing to let anybody do anything. Look, Jay Merweed and Nick Acosta's here. Mike Dimiowski, forgive me. Dimiowski. Oh, you're the 21st, Mike? I'm the 15th. December 15th. I bet we're different in age, though, aren't we? Yeah. So anyway, that's the thing. All right, Big Frank, keep us up to date on the Jags game. Look at everybody. So that was good, E-Rock. Zach Wilson. Well, you know what's funny, Tim, is that I didn't dig in this. I've actually done more on Mac Jones than I have on Wilson, which isn't that much. So I'm no expert on Mac Jones and Kyle Trask and Kellen Mond. But I didn't really look into Wilson all that much yet. But last week, I don't know if any of you guys saw on Ryan's Jets Talk, the Talking Jets panel with O'Leary and Ryan. O'Leary's a little bit fired up about Zach Wilson, and he inspired me to start looking into him. I did a little bit more this week, but I'm nowhere near where I will be. But I started to look into him, and I like him more than I thought I was going to. I'm really curious to see where the offseason goes with the combine and the pro days and all that sort of stuff. Come on. Yay. 3-0. 3-0. 3-0. Three nothing Brownies. They saying they're not going for that. What does that mean, Ain? I'll put it up. They're saying, GreenBean, that they're not going for that, Joe Douglas. I don't know. I'm sorry. Did I miss another part? Wait, what they're saying, GreenBean, is that not going for Joe Douglas's job that you're talking about. They want to see results now. Oh, the guys that say fire Joe Douglas? Yeah, I get you. But I want them to say it. Let's have a conversation. You can't just, you can't expect to just come in and say, fire Joe Douglas and anybody to bite. You want to talk? Let's talk about it. I'll fucking talk about anything. We got 3 hours here together, man. I'll talk about anything. You know me. Casey Rogers, there he is, MC. Right. Right. Mike Spike, Freeney, love Joe Douglas. You know what I mean? Look at everybody. Jets mess and Joe we trust. Look at Thor. Joe Douglas is our only hope. And then Tim comes in and says, old hag. I don't know, Tim. I lost something there. All right, let me see what's going on with the Bears. Wilson going to run into the same problems that Darnold has if we don't put a team around him, quarterback first. Yeah, I agree. Dude, let me say this. I don't think anyone would have succeeded with the situation that Darnold has had here. Okay? Now, what do you guys think the number one issue is with Sam Darnold? Like with what the Jets did to him. What do you guys think the number one thing is? Clearly, there's a lot of shit that happened. But what happened? What was the big thing? You know what I mean? Touchdown Bears shit. Yeah, that's right. Do not fire Joe Douglas, Reaper. You think we're going to pick Thor? I'll tell you what we're going to do, Thor. And that's the question. The number one is lack of protection. Right. Okay, that's a good one. That's right, John. It did. Holton says he already started turning it around. It did. It started day one. It's like this was a huge undertaking, man. Don't forget, he had the Quincy Enunwa contract. He had fucking Le'Veon Bell. He had Tremaine Johnson. Like he had C.J. Mosley, Henry Anderson. These are albatross contracts, man. You can't do anything underneath that. And the players on top of it don't produce. So he had to take time and undo all that. Then he has this loudmouth asshole safety who's good, but he doesn't move the needle. He doesn't change anything, evidenced by our record while he was here and the Seattle Seahawks defensive back ratings, defensive backfield, passing game. Gore. We're still handing the fucking ball to Gore. So don't worry, we lost game for 2. Yeah, that's right. Long game. So we got no wide receivers. He was one of his quarterback. He has Kevin Stefanski, Alex. Right, dude. Dude, look, and I like to use Bruce Arians as a good example, but that was said very, very well. And this is from Brian Dolan. He's talking about Baker, talking about how much help he has. Bruce Arians hired his staff and then hired another B staff to be designated to work with his backups. So because clearly if you have one offensive coordinator, he's going to be working with the starters. You have a position coach. He's working with the starters. The backups get limited time. So he hired secondary staff to just focus on the backups and developing them. Conversely, Sam has no quarterback coach, no offensive coordinator. That's what he has. So let me tell you guys the full problem. Okay? But those are good. You're saying, look, Big Frank, I think it was, right? No offensive talent, constant coaching changes. You got that. Jets mess, offensive line. Draft attack, Landon. Right, I'm with you. Right, so we had, I'm sorry, I lost the comments, but we got guys saying offensive line. We got guys saying receivers. We got guys saying coaching changes and all that. Everything, every bit of that is correct. But the number one problem goes deeper than that. The number one problem is that the Jets kept a failing general manager around, let him spend $120 million and handle another draft where the Jets had the 3rd overall pick. Look at Berrios. Look at him. Okay? So that was what set us back. So you got, let's back it up for just a second and we'll just talk about this. I'll try to make it quick, but that's an issue of mine. So you got Mike McCagnon, who trades 3 fucking number 2 picks to trade up and get a quarterback. It all falls for him, and he gets the guy he actually hoped to get, that he wanted. He follows that up with taking 2 defensive tackles, 2 cornerbacks, and a 4th round tight end, and then Trenton Cannon in the 7th, I think it was. So he gives them a 7th round running back and a 4th round tight end. The rest, he thought it prudent to take 2 defensive tackles in that same draft. The next year, what does he do with the 3rd overall pick? He takes a defensive tackle. The guy is, I don't know, he's like deranged. So what needed to happen was he needed to go before he was able to do that. He gave fucking C.J. Mosley $17 million a year. He gave Le'Veon Bell, in a negotiation fighting against himself, $13.2 million a year, second highest running back contract in history. He got screwed over with Anthony Barr, so everybody got to laugh at us. Okay? So it goes on and on. Now, they let him take the Quinnen Williams draft and take more defensive tackles on another 4th round tight end and Ja'Kai Polite in the 3rd. And Chuma Edoga, who was okay, but he was one of the lowest rated linemen I had in that upper tier. Lowest. I was blown away when we actually traded up a spot to grab Chuma Edoga. We gave our 7th round pick away to move up 1 spot to grab somebody that nobody was grabbing. So when we gave him that extra year to do that much damage, Sam had already had a year under his belt and a coaching change. Instead of getting rid of those people in one fell swoop, we kept McCagnon around, and he took a flurry of defensive tackles and linebackers and gave Sam nothing. That's where it all started. Now, Joe Douglas comes in after all that bullshit in the middle of the offseason, at the end of the offseason, and he's expected to do what? What was he expected to do? He dug into the garbage heap and got Khalil to come out of retirement. It was as good of a swing as anybody. It didn't work, but you got to respect that swing. He was a Pro Bowler 2 years earlier, right? So the fact that Joe Douglas brought in 7 offensive linemen, 5 wide receivers, used his first 2 picks as a GM on an offensive lineman and wide receiver shows you that he knows what to do. You can only do so much. He didn't throw $15 million a year at Jack Conklin because it wasn't going to do anything. He's not going to fucking give somebody $15 million when he's still trying to undo all these other contracts? It's a wasted contract. It's a wasted year. And he knows that. So that's the thing. Now, Sam gets caught in all that, and it's a shame. But you can't deny that the kid's damaged. You can't deny it, man. He is a shell of who he was. You know what I mean? Yeah, Joe Montori, it's a good question. When Maccagnan came in, the one thing I liked about him right away was he got rid of Terry Bradway. You guys know who Terry Bradway is? Terry Bradway was the GM that brought in Herm Edwards. Okay. So after Parcells, when Parcells left, we turned the organization over to Terry Bradway. Terry Bradway hired Herm Edwards and all that. And he ended up not doing too well as a GM, so they fired him, but they demoted him really. And they put him like director of college scouting. And he stayed around through all the Tannenbaum years, okay? Right? Isn't that how it went? Yeah, he stayed around in the Tannenbaum years, the Mangini years, the Rex Ryan year. He just kept sitting here. Terry Bradway, and he sucked, man. Okay? The guy, he's a very well-respected personnel man. He was garbage, okay? When Mike Maccagnan came in, one of the first things he did was he got rid of Terry Bradway and his whole staff, and I did like that. But did you hear about the thing that a report came out later that the Texans were just about to fire Mike Maccagnan? So when Castle, what is that his name? Castle? I burn out a lot. Sam, no, what the hell is his name? The GM guy. You know who I'm talking about. I'm fucking fried out. So when he hired him, Wolf and what's the matter with me? MC, who am I talking about here? What's his name? Casserly. There it is. Thank you. Exactly. Thank you, man. I couldn't find it in my brain. Thank you, John. Right. Thank you, Joe. Good stuff. Thor, awesome. You guys are the best. So Mike Maccagnan was actually going to be fired. Casserly was friends with Maccagnan and gave him the gig. So he came in. He had all the money that Idzik built up. He had all the picks that Idzik built up. And he looked like he did something good, but he didn't do anything. So he actually turns out that he was not a respected personnel man. The Texans were cutting him; they were getting rid of him. So that's the sad part about it. And we gave him the keys. And even though he did get Sam Darnold, which was his finest moment, in my opinion, we kept him a year too long and let him absolutely ruin that potential Sam Darnold had. Number one, he fucking hired Adam Gase. Number two, the whole slew of defensive tackles and cornerbacks after picking a quarterback that you traded for. And then the next year doing the same thing. The fact that he took 5 defensive tackles. Two of them were his top pick in 5 years. 2 defensive tackles? Who's that? So that's what really happened with Sam, man. And that's the number one. Yeah. Yep. Casserly and Wolf. I know. And then this is the whole thing. This is like and this is a good point too. Right. So this is a good point, Joe. So the fact that Chris Johnson was able to be swayed by a fucking starstruck phone call from Peyton Manning shows you where we really were. They were about to strike gold and hire Matt Rule, who's a very good coach. Rebuilt 2 organizations. He's not a positional positional head coach. He's an organizational head coach. Okay, knows his football, but he runs it. We had him, but we tried to force Adam Gase and Greg Williams on him. That's the rumor. So we were about to step in shit. We were about to nail it and let him come in and run everything. But instead, they forced those guys on him. He backed out, and the Jets panicked and hired Adam Gase and Greg Williams. That's what happened. They panicked. Peyton Manning called and said, hey, saw the opportunity. Dude, you really want to hire this guy? Blah, blah, blah. Joe Douglas would never be able to be swayed like that. He has his own opinions. He has staff he trusts. Nobody's calling. No fucking quarterback from a different team is going to call him and say, this is what's going on. He'd say, yeah, thank you very much. I know what's going on. I've studied this guy more than you, even though you played for him. Joe Douglas knows what he's talking about. And any GM worth their salt knows that. No quarterback's calling, hey, this is a great coach. Oh, really? Let's hire him. So that just shows how far off the beam we really were, man. We had a long way to go to get back. And I understand people being upset. I do. I understand it, man. I don't like the James Morgan pick. I didn't like losing Robbie Anderson. But, dude, when you look at how many positives and how many negatives he got rid of, dude, there's no comparison, man. It severely outweighs the negatives. Khalil is not a negative. Khalil is a positive. It didn't work out, but there was nowhere else to go. He had nothing. Don't forget, that's when he traded a 7th for Alex Lewis as well. You know, dude, he got a starter out of a 7th round pick. Now, granted, he's not going to be a starter going into next year. That's okay. But he got a 2 years out of a 7th round pick. And I know it sounds like I'm like, it's like I'm all over this guy. But the truth is that I've been watching the Jets for a long time, man. I have sat here with my other Jets friends and said, what the fuck are they doing? Like when Warren Sapp's clearly the guy, they picked Kyle Brady. That was co-type, man. It's like, what are they doing? I could never understand it. Last year in the draft, I understood it. For the first time in forever, since the Marvin Jones trade year. I understood that year too. That was great. Oh, is that where Limp Bizkit came from? They did it all for the cookies? I did it all for the cookies. The cookies. The Chips Ahoy cookies. Isn't that how that song went? Hydrox up your ass. I haven't thought of that song in a long time, man. Sonny Werble. Yeah, right. Well, now you're getting before me, Greg. This is the stuff, like that particular era, I know very little. You know, I'm like more like Walt Michaels. You know, Walt Michaels, Richard Todd, I know. That's my foundation. I've looked at it, of course. But I can't speak to Sonny Werblin or any of those guys. But I take your word for it. He knew how to build an entertaining football team. Yeah, Joe Namath was a great pick. And the money that they gave him back then was outrageous. Right. This is well said, Reaper. It's like clearly it didn't work. But at that point, the coffers were dry. He talked a Pro Bowl center out of retirement. That's what Joe Douglas was able to do. It didn't work. But that's what he was able to do. It was a major swing, especially for a guy who's been on the job for 3 months at the time. Pirine with the first down. Yeah. Oh, you did? Okay, let me look, MC. Hold on. Hold on, guys. There he is. Let's see. MC, send me another email with your number because the link I have, it works better through text. Send me your number and I'll text it to you. Okay, bud? And I'll tell you which time to come on. Big Frank, you're saying Crowder scored a touchdown? Let me see. I didn't see it. Am I that far behind you guys? Let's see here. P. Ryan getting the hard yards. P. Ryan getting the tough yards, man. Berrios in for the who's touchdown Berrios. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I'm not there yet. I'll tell you when I'm watching. So we'll see exactly how far I am behind you guys. Berrios in the backfield. Look at this. Let's see this dynamic offense. Holy shit. Week 16. That's what we see. Look at these assholes. Well, look at these assholes. What are they doing, man? What is this? Okay, buddy. I got you. Oh, sorry. Hold on. I'm going to send you something right now. Hold on, everybody.
Excellent execution by the Jets with the big play. And Darnold offering a little bit of a pick or a screen, if we can use a basketball term, to hold off the rush. Here's the extra point by Finn. And a flag has been thrown as Crowder throws the pass. First this year.
All right, buddy. I gave it to you. So what do you think of that bullshit? What are the Jets doing? I think Adam Gase knows it's his last game, and he's just like, dude, I'm just going to throw out everything. But this is why he's such a terrible coach, because this is the stuff that you should be doing. Right? Let's see here. What do I think of Berrios? I like Berrios. I don't think he's anybody that would stop me from grabbing like an Amari Rodgers or something like that. But I like Berrios. I think he's a good, he plays specials, which is good. He's kind of a jack of all trades coming out of the slot. You saw right there. That was a good play from the backfield. I think, he's good. He's a solid fourth, fifth guy. And the problem with fourth or fifth receivers, like I see everybody saying they would like Perryman as their fourth receiver, but that's all great. But you got to remember that the fourth and fifth wide receivers are dependent upon to play specials. So, I mean, you need it. You need those guys. You need the backup wide receivers, cornerbacks, running backs. Those guys, they have to play specials, right? You have to. So if you have your fourth wide receiver, somebody like Perriman, who's made of glass, as your fourth receiver, that means you got to have somebody better than him playing specials, which is not smart. It's not smart to do. So you have somebody like, let's say you draft Devontae Smith. So you got Devontae Smith and Mims in front of Perryman. You going to put Mims on specials as a gunner? No way, man. Not me. That's not what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I know. That's the funny part, Mess. It's like that pass was beautiful. She was shaky, let's be honest, but it's right on the money. It's right on the money. It's better than Sam doing all damn year. Yeah, I know, Thor, it's bullshit. And the only thing that scares me, but that report that I told you guys about really, really helped me. Because I do believe that the source is solid. So it really helped me. But the only thing that scares me is like if these guys start playing like this now, it creates a justification to give this guy another shot, meaning Gase. And there's nothing scarier for me. I think the guy's a complete douche. Like not only is he a bad coach, but he's a bad person, in my opinion. I just don't like him. 10-3 Bears. Sheesh. It's all going our way. 7-3 Jets. 10-3 Bears. That's only a touchdown back. That's okay. I'm gonna get a drink. I'll be right back, guys. Hold on just a second. Oh, I have one already. That was quick. I know, Gene. What is this bullshit? Why are they playing like this now? What is this? You never have anything to lose. That's the thing. I like coaches like that. Like, why do people enter a game with a mentality based in fear, tentative. Fuck that. Dictate to the other team. This is how your day is going to be. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be intense, and we are going to punch you every chance we get in your face. It's not nice. We're not shaking hands. We're not friendly. We're not here to play, smart tech, like quiet football, 2 yards, keep it prevent defense. Hell no. Let's go out there and kick their ass. We never have anything to lose. That's the way I see it. Just go play. That's why I like guys like Mike Martz. And even back in the day, like Jerry Glanville. It didn't work out for Glanville, but come on, man. The guy was fearless. Jimmy Johnson was the same way. There you go. Come on, guys. Go. Okay. You guys ever, there was a book written about the Dallas Cowboys under Jimmy Johnson, about like the real building with Charles Haley and all that sort of stuff. And his speech before the first Super Bowl against the Buffalo Bills, the first of the 4 Super Bowls that the Buffalo Bills lost, Jimmy Johnson came in to the locker room before the game, and he said to them something along these lines. Look at this team we're about to play. They are a bunch of pussies. There's not a single guy on that team that scares me. So we're going to come out and we're going to be as intense as we're going to take it to them. If you guys can't handle that, I'm benching you. They are pussies. We are men. There should be no contest. And they went into the game with that mentality, and they beat the hell out of them. Right? I don't know if, maybe it wasn't the first, but I think the first one was against the Giants. Right. Forgive me. But it was one of those 4-year Super Bowls. They had Bruce Smith and Bennett, and all the coordinators. He just said, yeah, Bruce Smith is a pussy. Our offensive line is going to manhandle Bruce Smith. And for the most part, they did. That's the kind of football I like. This bullshit, like when we went into the 49ers game and their 2 top pass rushers went down and we went into a shell playing conservative. What is that? I would have been running right where that guy was. Take the new guy who came in and just rattle him. It's your turn, kid. It's what I would do. Thor, I'm with you. I agree. If you guys didn't get a chance to see that report, it's my video on Jet Nation's YouTube it's called like Marvin Lewis, next head coach or something like that. But it's not only about Marvin Lewis. It's about some other things. But it's great. And maybe not the video is great, but the information is great. I'll tell you that. Yeah. Right. Thank you, Joe. That's it. It's like, as upset as I am about it, he was never ours. We didn't have, it's not like we passed on him or something like that. He's never ours. It was a hope, but he was never ours. We didn't lose anything in the same way. But what we did do is we took the potential and we flushed it in the toilet. So that doesn't feel very good. Yeah. Bill Smith, this is it. If you guys think that they're not going to do everything they can today, the Jags, that is, to lose this game, you got another thing coming. The Jags have made a statement. We are tanking. We have 2 weeks left. Our season is in the shitter. We have 1 win, and we currently have Trevor Lawrence coming in. We're not blowing it like the stupid-ass Jets and Adam Gase. Yes, he was, Big Frank. Jimmy Johnson, he was a man. I used to work with his son a lot on some things. And I used to bust his balls all the time that he was nothing like his father. Yeah, it's just whatever. But his father, he was I hated him. I hated him at the time. I hated him. Look at these guys. Do you see that? Who is that? Fadukasi? He caught that fumble right in his hands. Look at these guys. It doesn't matter if it went forward. It never hit the fucking ground. It's an interception. That's right. It doesn't matter. Look at these losers. What are they doing? Yeah. The good news is, Greg, The good news is we have clinched the second overall pick. So it's the only thing it's messing with right now is the potential to get Trevor Lawrence, but it's gone. The Jags lose, it's over anyway. Really. They're just going to win out. Solid Nash NYC. Let's see what he's saying. You were talking to New York Sports, MC? Let me see. Yeah. I don't think there's 1 second. Well, I wouldn't deny it for 1 second that Gase would love to stick it up our ass on the way out the door. That's the kind of guy he is. He's not Rich Kotite. Rich Kotite felt bad about what he did. He resigned. He said, I really blew this up, man. I'm terribly sorry. The one thing Kotite gave us was he gave us Wayne Corbett. Wayne Corbett probably wouldn't have made it on any other team without Kotite. So that was Kotite's gift to us. But, you know, he had respect for the team. Adam Gase is a piece of dog shit, okay? You know what I mean? He's a scumbag. And he was high on his press conference. You guys know that's what I do for a living, man. Right? Drugs. That's my thing. And I'm the first thing I thought was, holy shit, he's geeked. I couldn't believe it. Oh, poor Sam. You know what would make me happy though? If we are going to win these games out, like we already have the number 2 pick. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm fairly confident that the number 2 pick is ours. We clinched it. So these games don't mean anything if Jaguars keep losing, right? But what I would really like, what would make me happy is that if we're going to win out, that Sam Darnold comes out of the fucking dark and has a game. You know what I mean? Let's get 320, man. Let's get 3 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying, man? This poor kid. And then it helps trade value. Look at this. I'm sorry. I was just talking about Darnold and he did that. I'm all confused. I'm a self-contradicting mental health patient. That's what I am right now. Right, Travis? Travis, tell these guys, am I full of shit when what I know about drug use? Travis knows. See, there you go. Good stuff. MC has confirmed it. New York Sports MC is someone in the know. And, yeah, it's just like, so if we have the number 2 pick and these games mean nothing, look at that. Fickin'. Get that guy out of here. You guys know who I want, right? I want Dicker the kicker. That's what I want. It's like when I wanted the punter named Anger. Remember that? Is he any good? I'd stop following him. Sam Darnold to Chris Herndon. What we thought was going to be our year. We thought we were going to see that every week. Remember? Right. Brian Dolan saying it right. What's up, Jet Engine? It's good to see you, man. So it's like really, I mean, it really is over. If the Jags lose today, it's over. And they're losing. Oh, no, it's 10-10. Ah, shit. I'm going to take your comment off, Brian. I don't want to fucking toy with that ether. Sorry, buddy. But I'm with you, but we got to still hold on to our energy. Come on, Browns. Look at this. Jags touchdown, everybody. Yeah, I don't know. What do you want from me, Travis? What do you want from me, man? I keep talking. Yeah, I don't know. How far am I? I'm watching, I'm streaming it on Sunday Ticket. I think I'm like 2 plays behind. That's what it feels like. Yeah, that was good. Look, John Holton's confirming what I said. He was up for 3 days in New York after this interview. He never thought he was going to have a job. He just went to the right. Yeah, and they were like, hey, come on and do this press conference. He was like, what? Can I wear my hat? No. That's hilarious.
Hey, dude, did the Jets score a touchdown yet?
Yeah, 2 of them.
No, Jameson Crowder threw one, right?
Yeah, and Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold just threw one to Chris Herndon wide open in the end zone. Look at that catch. Can they make it if we try? It's up to us. Oh, good. Well, at least I'm not alone, Holton. I know. Illuminati. You're supposed to be our inside track to the secrets, man. Why is this happening, Illuminati? What is it? What is it? 10-10 in Jacksonville. See, that's good. But the Jets are blowing it. Again. Fucking. Look at them. They're all pumped up. They're all psyched. Look at Chris Herndon. How dare you be happy? Dude, I'm on this Instagram thread. If any of you guys are on here, it's blowing me up. It's called Jets and Cardinals. I got to get out of there, man. It's like, I don't know what. I get hundreds of texts on Instagram. I got to get out of there. Anyway. Dude, John Holton, you shut your whore mouth, man. You don't talk like that. I won't even put your comment up, man. There's no way. I can't. Yeah, you know. That's what I'm drinking, buddy. I'm telling you, you know what I'm going for? I'm going for Monster sponsoring me. That's what I want. Give me something. I drink more of these damn things. It's not healthy. I actually got to back out of it. And I don't, I get caught. I'm a very addictive person. So like whatever I'm doing, I get caught in things. So like I'll start drinking an energy drink and the next 3 months later, I've drank, 5 a day for fucking 6 months. Like I don't know how that happens. And then I pay attention to it and then I stop. Keep running. 13-10 would be acceptable, right? Right. That's what I'm saying, John. Get that shit out of there. Good. Thanks for grabbing that joke. I didn't know if it was funny or not. I have a source at the Jets. He works in the I don't want to say, but he doesn't work with, like, he's not like one of the, coaching staff or a scout or anything, but he's in the information piece of the Jets. So he has information. And every now and then he throws me something. Like 2 years ago, he gave me that CJ Mosley thing like 24 solid hours before it was anywhere. He said, dude, it's going to blow your fucking mind. The Jets are going to sign CJ Mosley. I said, no, they're not. It's so stupid. Why would they sign CJ Mosley? We just signed Avery Williamson last year. We gave Avery Williamson a huge contract. It makes no sense. And I didn't tell anybody. I said, I don't want to. And then lo and behold, the next day, Jets signed CJ Mosley. Who was that? Missed that tackle. Jesus. So, but the funny thing is, Greg, is then last year, he told me this. Now, when the Cleveland Browns fired, what's his name? Oh, my God, I'm so fried, guys. The last GM, what the fuck was his name? Everybody knows him. I have it right on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, they fired their GM, and they hired the guy who was Joe Douglas's replacement in Philly. So a year before, Joe Douglas and this guy, the new GM for the Browns, were tight. They were working under Howie Roseman in Philadelphia for 3 years. Dorsey, thank you, E-Rock. Jesus, Joe, thank you. These are the easy names, man. I'm digging out shit from the past, and then I can't even think of Dorsey or Casserly. So anyway, when that happened, the Robbie Anderson thing was still going on. He was quiet. The free agent thing was quiet with him, and whatever. So he called me. My friend called me and told me, "Hey, man, I just heard that there's a deal. All the particulars are worked out for a trade for OBJ and another player." Okay, so that's what he told me. And because I didn't, but he also said it had to do with Robbie Anderson. Okay, so it's like if Robbie Anderson signed, it would die. If he didn't sign, they were going to grab OBJ and do this whole thing. Don't forget, they just worked with each other for 3 years. They're very close friends. So because I didn't report the CJ Mosley thing last year, and I was like, I was regretful all year because I was like, damn, I had that one first. Like before fucking Rappaport, I had that shit. Yeah, well, that's the Jets. I know, it's bullshit. So anyway, I got the information for the OBJ potential trade, and I blasted it out everywhere, all over Jet Nation, and people talked about it for 2 days. And then it never happened. And let me tell you something, man. I had guys coming at me, calling me straight up liar, calling me fucking all kinds of names. They chewed me up for months. It still gets brought up every now and then on Jet Nation. Like if I say something, people are like, "Oh yeah, here comes GreenBean making shit up again." So, you take it. You take the good with the bad, man. You win some, you lose some. So my guy has given me some decent information before. CJ Mosley thing was by far the best. But he's giving me little tidbits and little feelings and stuff like that, like kind of the organization feels this way or thinks this. So I've gotten some of that stuff. But other than that, he's not giving me anything really that solid. I think he does clean toilets. No, not McCagnon, Greg Tarr. I was going for Dorsey. Yeah. I know, Travis. Yeah, it's crazy. Well, it's like, but then we watched Sam Darnold literally get picked up and slammed on his head and no call. But we touch guys like Baker Mayfield or Mahomes, any of the money guys, man. The NFL is protecting their cash. It's just that simple. It's really what it is. Yeah, you're right. All right, let me see. Oh, you should have caught that. It was a low pass. Do I think if the Jets played this way all year, what do I think we would have been? I think we would have maybe gotten to 7-9, 8-8 kind of a thing. This is competitive football. This is all we wanted, right? Well, for me, I know the guys I talked to, we didn't think we were going to go to the Super Bowl this year. I just wanted to see this. That's all I wanted. I wanted Darnold to make some progressions. I wanted Quinnen to make some progressions. I wanted to see Mims and Becton. I wanted to see guys grow together. And I wanted to see games like this, 13-3. You know what I mean? Even if it was the other way. But no, we saw the worst football I've ever seen for the Jets. I've never seen it before this bad. And I lived through Kotite and all the Bubby Brister shit and Frank Reich and what was that guy's name? Joe Fields. Not Joe Fields. The quarterback we got from Miami. Remember that game? Chad Pennington went down. And then the guy, what was his name? Was it Fields too? He came in, and 2 plays later, he got hurt, and Chad Pennington had to come back in. Remember that game? That was crazy. I didn't think it could ever get that bad again. But here we are. Jay Fielder. There it is. Thanks, Big Frank. Bill Smith, you're funny. Browning Nagel. Remember that? Remember Browning Nagel's first game? Anybody remember it? 366 yards, first game in the Georgia Dome against the Falcons. We still lost, but I swear to God, that day, I thought we had our quarterback of the future. I said, oh, my God, we finally got him. Browning Nagel. And as we know, you remember Thor? He played well to Rob Moore. That was Browning Nagel to Rob Moore connection. Wait, who's our stalker, MC? Who's that? Don't become a stalker like someone else. You got to tell me who it is. Oh, E-Rock, how old are you, buddy? You not remember Brownie Nagel, or you don't remember Jay Fielder? Duh. Thank you, MC. Clearly, I am not at my sharpest today. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, I'm going to show you a little clip of my recently released podcast, about 30 seconds. Enjoy. Here we go.
They were beating us up last week about being not good enough. We didn't deserve. We got this guy Shap saying that we don't deserve the number one pick. A team like the Jets doesn't deserve to be rewarded with a guy like Trevor Lawrence. This is the shit we hear. So we win a game. Everybody's supposed to be happy. What does the NFL media do? They laugh at us. You guys couldn't even do that. You can't even lose right. Yeah. It's a double-edged sword, and it cuts both ways for us. So, you.
All right. What do you think of that? If you guys haven't seen the podcast yet, it's actually, I just finally got it on all the podcast platforms. I'm just, look at that. I don't care. Seeing a Jets quarterback run down the field and lower his shoulder, I don't give a shit what's going on. I like it. What's up, Corsello? You like that? Oh, wait, guys, did you see the picture? Let me do something here. I'm gonna show you guys something. Let me see if I have it here. So this how could you guys have seen it? My Christmas card this year. You guys know I'm living in an RV now, right? You guys know this. Most of you should know this by now. So I'm living in an RV, and I'm traveling around the country. Look at this. I'm traveling around the country, taking my kids on every roller coaster in the country. We're trying. COVID's fucking it all up. But let me see something here. I'm going to try to get you guys this. So I live in an RV. So what we wanted to do was, you guys ever see Christmas Vacation with Cousin Eddie, when he pulled up with the RV outside and he was dumping all the tank in the sewer, and he goes, "Shitter was full. Merry Christmas. Shitter was full." Remember that? So let me see here. I'm gonna try to get you. All right, let me see. See if I can get it in there for you guys. I'll give you a couple picks here. Oh, come on, these fucking things, man. Anyway, I'm trying. Give me a second. Oh, that's not right. Hold on. That's not the right thing. Hold on, guys. I'm working on it over here. I'll show you guys my Christmas card, and you tell me what you think. I'll show you a couple. I'll get the couple in there for you guys. So that's what I was doing with that hat. You saw that, right? Right, Crisello? Thank you. Right. Thanks, guys. Yeah, all right, Holton. There you go. Thank you, Bill. Yeah, so that hat, it's funny because now I have the hat. We bought it just for the Christmas card, but now I have it. So guess what I'm going to do? I'll fucking wear it. Let me go get it. Hold on a second. I'll leave you with another clip. I'm just going to go run and grab that hat, and then I'm going to show you guys some pictures. Hold on. I think this
They were beating us up last week about being not good enough. We didn't deserve. We got this guy Shap saying that we don't deserve the number one pick. A team like the Jets doesn't deserve to be rewarded with a guy like Trevor Lawrence. This is the shit we hear. So we win a game. Everybody's supposed to be happy. What does the NFL media do? They laugh at us. You guys couldn't even do that. You can't even lose right. Yeah. It's a double-edged sword, and it cuts both ways for us. So, you.
All right. Oh, Don't do it again. I can't find the hat, but guess what? Sports MC, New York Sports MC is in the house. We're going to bring him in and listen to what he has to say. What's up, buddy?
GreenBean, how's it going, man?
Oh, it's going well, man. We're having a great day watching these assholes win.
Like you mentioned earlier, I just don't see the Jags winning. Again, I know last I saw they were tied, but I just don't see it happen. I might as well, as long as Gase is gone, why not just win the next 2 games? What does it really matter? Like we mentioned before, we are locked into that number 2 pick at this point.
Yeah, I mean, look, it would really be a bummer if we won and the Jags won. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, shit, we had it back. But I hear you. I really don't think the Jags are going to win today. We're already locked into the 2nd pick. What I would love more than anything, if we're not going to get the 1st pick, is for Sam Darnold to have a couple good weeks. You know what I mean?
Right.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Did you see what Jason Lockenforte said about how some of the execs around the league are saying really believe that the Jets would trade the number 2 pick and stay with Sam, which if they ended up with the number 2 pick, which is what I kind of have been saying all along. If we don't get Trevor Lawrence, we might as well trade. I hate hearing Jet fans say Sam needs a fresh start somewhere else. The fresh start should be with the Jets. We should clean house and get rid of everybody. So it is a fresh start just in the same building. So the idea is if you trade back, you could probably pull a 1st-round pick from next year, and now we have at least 3 1st-round picks next year. You build the rest of the team, see if a new coach can resurrect Sam. If not, you have 3 1st-round picks next year. Go get your quarterback in 2022. Yeah,
well, this is the interesting thing. If we're at number 2, the probable number 3 is the Bengals, right? The Bengals are absolutely 100% in on Burrow. That's their guy. They're going to give him another year. They're not canceling that. He looked great. So they're going to want to get him protection, right? They got him his receiver. They're going to want to go for Sewell. The Jets also need offensive line. So we can very easily convince the Bengals to give us their 2nd-round pick, which the value is close. It's right in that same pocket. We could even throw in a 7th or say, whatever, if need be. But to get their pick, that would be pick number 34. So we would have pick 33 and 34 in the 2nd round. That would be so valuable. And then not for nothing, from there, for the guys who want Fields or want Wilson, you can trade back again. Joe Douglas can own that draft if he's thinking of staying with Sam Darnold. And then he could take like a Mac Jones or Kyle Trask later and just kind of make a competition out of it. I think it's smart, actually, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at. Like I said, when the season first started going south and we were thinking about it, with Dark Demonic, I went back and forth with him a lot about keeping Sam. And then I finally got on board to Trevor Lawrence because the fact that he's a generational talent, hasn't been a quarterback that good in so long. But if you're going to give me just what I feel is like, hey, these guys can be great too, but they're not generational talents. Like I'd rather keep Sam and build the rest of the team. Like you just mentioned, you can create so much extra capital by leveraging those picks. And then if Sam is a lost cause, at least we have so much more ammunition the next year. We can draft another. Like I said, the 2nd quarterback is not a generational talent.
Right.
At least from everything I've heard so far.
Right. And you can, a guy like Fields, like let's say Trevor Lawrence was not in this draft. It would be Fields, Lance, Wilson, Kyle Trask, Mac Jones. And then in the 2nd, you got like Kellen Mond and all those guys. They would be a great quarterback class, but none of them are being talked about like Andrew Luck was. Like even a lot of them, not even the way Sam Darnold was, but certainly not the way Peyton Manning or Trevor Lawrence was. So I agree with you. If Joe Douglas really likes one of them, he can still trade back once or maybe even twice, depending on how his evaluation of the other tendencies of the other teams goes. But he can definitely trade back once with the Bengals, grab an extra 2nd, and then take his quarterback if he wants to go with Zach Wilson. But if you stick with Sam, and you grab, let's say, so you move back, you acquire an extra 2nd-round pick, and you use it on Mac Jones. You start Sam Darnold, and you're just grooming a guy, another potential quarterback. So you got James Morgan, Mac Jones, and Sam Darnold on your team. That's not the worst quarterback situation in the world right there, if you have real coaching.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I always wish that we would do. It's like You look at all the other teams around it. Even look at Mahomes. Mahomes didn't start week 1 his rookie year, right? He didn't play at all his rookie year, really. So we always just threw our quarterback right into the fire. And it was just crazy how I would love to try to groom somebody behind somebody. Like I said, if Sam's not the answer. And for the people who always talk about, I know I mentioned this, I think either when I called in on one of Ryan's shows or on your show, the people are saying, well, you could only win with a rookie deal for the quarterback, or it's a lot easier to win. Who else are we paying on this team? And if you trade back and you have all those boatloads of pick, most of your team is going to be on rookie deals. So even if Sam, you could decline his 5th-year option, keep him on the 4th year for next year. If you show something and you do have to pay him that top echelon money, nobody else on this team is getting paid. And now you had 2 first-round picks this year, 3 first-round picks next year. That's 5 first-round picks that are on rookie deals, plus all the other mid-round picks that you have. The rest of your team salary is going to be so low, you can afford to pay and still, go out in free agency and get that final piece that you may need if we build it in a few years from now.
Right. Now, look, just to be completely square with you, I'm still like in a place where I'm entertaining anything. I really do think Sam would benefit from sitting for a year. I think that's where he is. But like you said, not the league doesn't necessarily agree on that. They're pretty certain that Adam Gase is a complete turd of a head coach. No quarterback coach, no offensive coordinator. Like, we're not alone in that thinking. And that report that I put out this week that I got from somebody else said that the Jets are absolutely aware of how bad Adam Gase is and the train wreck that his tenure here has been. So if they believe that Sam Darnold is being ruined by a coach and they bring in a very strong developmental staff and they want to take the other shot and, like you said, start trading back to acquire all kinds of resources for this year and next year, who could argue with that if you can't get Trevor Lawrence? Now, doing that instead of Trevor Lawrence, like if you're at number 1 and you choose to do that, now that can be ill-advised. But Justin Fields or Wilson, they're not the same thing, like you said. So I'm a big fan of trading back and acquiring. I'm a little bit nuts with the trade backs anyway. I'm kind of a draft pick whore. Like
me too. I go on PFN. I'm trading back so many times.
PFN, how fun is PFN though?
It's a lot of fun. It is, especially because they make offers to you. That's really cool. So then you can kind of filter through the offers that you got, and it's not just like, hey, I'm making up random trades here. So I really like that aspect of it.
Exactly, because sometimes when you do the random trade thing, it's like that's not even real. You know what I mean? Like nobody would take that trade, and you're doing all this stuff. But PFN, I have checked a couple of the trades, evaluated it against the trade value chart, and it's there. Like sometimes it's a little one way or the other, but it's close. It's actually kind of accurate. So those trades are somewhat realistic. The last week I did one where I accepted every single trade that was presented to me. I didn't pick until pick 40. I didn't even have I just kept accepting trades. I had something like 23 picks in the first this year and 15, 20 picks for next year in addition to what we had. So that's just, you could do so much. If you guys don't know about that draft simulator, there's a few out there, Draft Network, PFF, there's quite a few, but PFN is a blast because like MC was just saying, they actually initiate trades to you. So you can accept them, counter them or anything. It's a blast, man. I love it.
And
I love it.
It's cool too, because every simulation is different. So it's one time when we had the number 1 pick, the Jags offered me this huge package. And then I was just trying to do it again, and I tried to recreate that same trade, and they said no the next time. So it's those trades where sometimes they get a little more ballsy and want to go a little bit further than what they probably should on a trade.
That's right. And sometimes they're rigid. They're not just add a second. No, they won't add anything. Right, man?
Right.
You try to counter it. It's a blast. So what do you think? Do you think we're going to win this game, man? What do you think?
I haven't been watching since I came on because I had to come in the other room to get away from the kids. So I don't know what's been happening. I could see it. And one of the things, too, GreenBean, I know we talk about the Jets factor, right? They're talking about the whole COVID thing. Yeah, it sucks that the Browns are missing their wide receivers. But it's nobody ever talks about when we were starting Chris Hogan and Jeff Smith as our wide receivers, right? So, sorry, I have no sympathy for you that your wide receivers are out today.
Yeah,
we're starting an undrafted rookie corner, right? So it's I have no sympathy for you. We have, we're missing all these people too. And it's like, oh, well, if the Jets beat the Browns, it's because of the COVID that just happened today. No,
Right.
Or yesterday.
Well, that's what happened last year too with that final Bills game. Like, oh, your team could barely beat the Bills' second string. It's like, may I just remind you that that's our third and fourth string? For God's sake, we had more players on IR last year than any team in history. Did you know that? It was the most ever. That's what we had. It was every single week, the last 8 weeks of the season, somebody went on IR. So we went up there with our third string, and we're playing their second. So I don't have any sympathy for their second string. Like you just said, man, we starting scrubs for 2 years. I don't want to hear it.
Now, GreenBean, I have a question for you. You track Gase back to Miami and to his 2 years here. One of the big things, too, besides the fact that he's just not a very good coach, is injuries have just ravaged his teams. Do you think that that's something that is just because of the way he coaches and the way he trains these guys? Like, should we expect this team to hopefully not be so injury-riddled with a new coaching staff next year? Like, what is the cost for that? Like 4 years in a row with Gase, pretty much.
Well, I think that there's definitely something to it. It's like I get into these conversations with people about like a really good example of this. A good comparison is when people say, like, for example, Fields is coming out of Ohio State. Ohio State has never had an NFL quarterback that did anything. Never. Not once in their entire history. And people say, look, that's really unfair to compare Fields to the other players just because he came out of the school. And I agree. But there's something to it. Then I don't know what it is. Gase's teams all the way back to Miami have had the most injuries every year, like top 3 or whatever. So something that he is doing, or maybe it's just the energy. Players don't want to work hard. Like if they get a broken finger, they don't want to play or whatever it is. But there's something to Gase. And I think it's that people don't really want to play for him. They don't really like him. And I think that it has something to do with his training staff. Again, I don't really know what it is, but I don't discount that it's something. There's something there, man. I've never seen anything like this these 2 years. Have you?
No, and that's why I said that was one of the things. Like, if we want to go back to when they first hired Gase, like obviously that was not my choice. I didn't even think that he was going to be an option, and so I was surprised. But when I try to think about it, I'm like, well, he did have a lot of injuries in Miami, and I'm like, maybe if we're healthy, he can show something. That was kind of my optimistic look when he first came on, but then it's just like ravaged with injuries last year, ravaged with injuries again. It's just like you said, there's just something there.
Well, look at Tannehill. Tannehill played about 50% of the time under Gase. He was injured the other 50% of the time. Has he been that way in Tennessee? No. So what? Now I don't pretend to know what it is, but there's something there. There's something to it, and that lends itself to legitimately having some hope that this whole era is going to be in our past when we get a new training staff and in the new system involved in the way they practice and the way they develop guys is going to be a healthier way to do things. And so we won't see injuries like this anymore because it's been gross. I've never seen anything like it. And 2020 is, I think there are more injuries this year than ever, across the league, but we're still way at the top compared to other teams. And it's bullshit. So I'm looking forward to – that's another thing I'm really looking forward to ending is these injuries that seem to follow Gase wherever he goes. Tannehill's the best example, man.
Yeah, and the one thing, too, that I always want to tell Jet fans, too, is like with the whole Joe Douglas and the culture, like you said, he had to fix a lot. Just look at how much – I heard you saying after Herndon scored that touchdown, he's smiling and laughing on the sideline. Like, these guys are fighting. I don't think they're really fighting for Gase. I think they're just fighting because that's the character guys that Douglas has brought in, right? What do we draft? 4 or 5 captains in a row, right? He is changing that culture, even with a lame duck coach. These guys are fighting hard, and there was a point in the season where I had no hope that we had any building blocks for the future. And these guys have really started to come on towards the end, some of these younger guys, to show that they want to be here and they want to play hard. And I think that's all reflection of Joe Douglas.
Yeah. Well, and I agree with that, man. I really do. And I think that it does speak to the character. But like you look at the way we played the Seattle Seahawks, 40-3. And the Seahawks actually reported afterwards that they, as a team, the players felt sorry for our players. That's how bad it really was. So how do they go from that to beating the Rams the next week? And that's the thing, like with a coach, when a coach can't keep some semblance of consistency with his team, that's a problem. But I do think you're right. I think we're at the beginning of seeing the impact of high character guys like Becton, like some of these other guys, like you said, these team captains. Bryce Hall was a captain in UVA, where I lived in Charlottesville for a few years. Bryce Hall is a top tier human being. Like he's not somebody that's a punk. You're never going to see that stuff from him. Joe Douglas brought in zero of that bullshit. So I think we're going to start seeing that pay dividends as we move forward. And it's exciting, man. I'm really looking forward to this offseason. I can't wait to get this damn season over with, which sucks to say, but I'm really looking forward to what Douglas does this offseason. And I think a lot of the naysayers are going to be put to rest. It's going to be over because this guy's good at what he does, man.
GreenBean, biggest disappointment of the season so far, though? Your boy, who you love the most, Bryce Hall, makes a one-handed interception, and you are not live streaming to get a live reaction.
Can you believe?
Come on!
You know where I was? I was in a forge, banging on metal at that moment. That's what I was doing. So I was like, that's one of those things. I was happy that he did that, and I was pissed because I wanted them to lose. So it's like, it's such a difficult thing. People discount how difficult it is for us to root for losses. We're not a bunch of scumbags. This isn't just, we don't feel like rooting for our team. This is hard to come over to this side and hope that the team you love loses for the greater good. It's not easy to do, man. So when a guy like Bryce Hall, who I do think is a part of our future, gets a pick, you want to be able to cheer that. And then we win the damn game, and it makes it all sickening. So it's rough, man. It's rough. But look, bro,
I can never I can never be mad at the players for trying hard, though. That's the last thing I'll say here. I can't be mad at them for trying hard.
No, but I can be mad at them for telling us that we're not good fans. That shit, that I'm not going to play with. They can go screw. All right, MC, I'm going to let you boogie, man. I really do appreciate you. This was great. We should do this every week. Reach out to me next week. Let me know if you're available. I'll send you the link.
Sounds good. Have a good one.
All right, man. Thanks. New York Sports MC, everybody. There he goes. So we got a series of interceptions going on in the Jacksonville Bears game, huh? So the Bears are up 13-10. Hey, man, it's a game. Imagine if Minshew was playing, huh? Let's see what you guys are talking about. And Glennon throws a pick. See, Blunted Vegas. I don't know who this GreenBean is. Who's that? Is there somebody else here named GreenBean? Who is that? Who is that guy? I know. Well, Corsello, this is the thing. I mean, they really are decimated as far as their offensive injuries go. They were dependent upon those guys. But like MC was just saying, don't forget, man, we're starting our third, fourth string cornerbacks and all. Everybody's hurt. So I don't really want to hear it. They should be kicking our ass right now. There's no way that the Browns should be overlooking the Jets. The Rams, I can understand it because they were so much better that they're just thinking, we're going to smack these guys around. Look what they just did in Seattle. But, the Browns shouldn't be overlooking anybody. But I got to say, see, as much as I want the Browns to beat us right now, there's a secret little pleasure that I have. I hate the Cleveland Browns, and I hate their fans. I don't know if I've told you guys this story. I won't necessarily do it now. But I got a really big story about those assholes over there in Cleveland. And so nothing would make me happier than to see them collapse and not make the playoffs, but not more than I want to see us lose. Look at Mayfield, dude. You got guys getting open, buddy. What do you guys think of Baker Mayfield? I think he sucks. Anybody else agree with me? People talking about him. He doesn't impress me, man. Hard pass on Fields. Yeah, well, see, this is the thing, Reaper. Like I said, I really think it would be very smart to trade back that one spot with the Bengals for Sewell. Let them know we're taking Sewell. If you want him, it's going to take your second-round pick. That's what it's going to take. You want this generational left tackle? We're taking him. We're going to stick him at right tackle and have bookend monsters. We'll give it up for a second-round pick, and then they do that, and then you can take Wilson after you acquired that pick number 34. Right, good. So I think that would be smart, but I'm not against it, man. I'm not against picking Wilson. Like I said, I just started looking into him. O'Leary, I think, is going to be here in a few minutes. Him and Ryan, and we'll get his take on it. I'll let you guys. I'll pass on some of what you guys are saying. Yeah, right. Isn't he trash? I agree. He's overrated, man. They gave him all these commercials and all that kind of stuff. You just took Wilson at 2. Did you get any trades, Joe? You denied the trades? They usually offer about 5 trades at that spot. Good, first down. Let's go, Browns. Get a touchdown. Make this a game. There you go. 9 seconds left on our 47-yard line. Honest to God, I think if we drafted Sewell, my thoughts are that he would get moved to right tackle. That's my thought. But honestly, I wouldn't give a shit. Either one of those guys. I think both of them can be interchangeable as far as being on the right or left side. But I think Becton's a more dominant player, where Sewell is more kind of consistent, and Becton has that dominance. So I don't know. It all depends on what you're looking at, and maybe somebody's less effective on the right side. So I think it's really a good position to be in, though. You know what I mean? Having those 2 guys as your tackles. You denied every trade. Well, the good news is, Joe, is that now you got it, right? So it's like you can do whatever you want. Like I said to MC, I literally the other day I did one where I accepted every single trade. Like I picked one or the other, or I counted, but I accepted one version of every trade that they got. I didn't even pick my first player till it was pick number 40. So we got Ryan popping in from Jets Talk 24/7. Here he goes. We're going to see if they make this field goal. I know I'm probably behind you. He fucking missed it. Look at Berrios. What's he doing? Did you already watch all that madness?
I just watched it. Yeah, they kicked the ball, and I'm watching the camera guy. I was like, this is like a solid 10-yard short, and they're just not watching Berrios. I was like, all right, well, whatever.
Yeah.
Baker looked not very good today.
No, Baker sucks. Here, I'm going to bring Matt O'Leary on. What's up, O'Leary? What are you guys doing?
Not too much. Just trying to get through this snooze fest of a game. It's not a whole lot going on.
Yeah. What do you think of Baker Mayfield? Shouldn't he be coming out with fighting for the playoffs? Shouldn't he be making a better showing of this? I know his receivers are gone, but still.
Yeah, it's scary that Jamison Crowder looks like the best quarterback by far.
Yeah.
It's been bad. I mean, I'm watching Baker, and he's missing some throws. The last one, when they were almost in field goal range, was just a horrible miss. That puts him in field goal range and at least gives him a shot.
Yeah. You know, man, I mean, it really is. This is the thing. As much as I want to lose, and the Jacksonville game is a little bit exciting, there's some back and forth going on over there. So it looks like they at least have a shot to overcome their blatant attempts at tanking and might even win it. But so I really just want to lose this game and give that a chance, because if we win, it's over pretty much, right? So, but wouldn't you think that Baker Mayfield would be doing better? Because I hate the Cleveland Browns. It gives me a lot of joy. I hate their fans from when I went there and I got into the big fight when I went to welcome them back. I hate them. So I really enjoy them crumbling and not making the playoffs. But I really want this Trevor Lawrence kid. What do you guys see him? Ryan, what is it? Is it just Baker sucking? Or?
Dude, this whole game is just incredibly boring. I'm starting to fall asleep on the couch, and then I have the Jaguars game on the laptop, so I'm watching that. And I was like, oh man, okay, they're actually close. They intercept the ball in the end zone, and then they wind up giving it right back. But then I'm like, okay, you know what? There's a shot. And then I'm looking at us. I was like, we're gonna win on a trick play. Crowder throws a touchdown to Berrios. That's how we score. And then Baker, just fumbles the ball away or intercepted, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And then I thought Sam fumbled the ball, but I think not overturning that call was probably the right play there. I don't know. This game's incredibly boring. It's like, and they have all 4 of their starting wide receivers out, and they're like starting linebackers. Like, what are we taking away from this game if we win? Like, there's Quinnen's not in. We're not getting any passes to Mims. Like, Gore's getting handoffs. It's just a brutally boring game.
Yeah. And like you said, and Matt said it, like Crowder's the best quarterback on the field. Like if we're going to win this game, like we've already locked in the second pick. So if we won out, it's not going to affect us any further than we are affected. But if we're going to win, wouldn't it be nice to see Sam Darnold be the reason? You know what I'm saying, Matt? Like,
yeah, you know what happened, right? GreenBean, the Jags are going to win. The Jets are going to win, and then we're going to go through this all next week. Like, at least if the Jags lose and the Jets win, then we can root for a win next week and, totally not care about the draft pick. Like, that's what I would – if one of the two has to happen, I either want us to lose and them to lose so that way we go into it, or we win, they lose, it's over, let's just fucking move on.
Yeah, no, 100%. And like you said, even last week, like it's not like Sam played a terrific game. He was okay. He managed the game. It was a very Alex Smith-like performance. He's going to throw for like 140 yards and they're going to win like 13-6. Like, what good does that do?
Yeah. Right. It's boring, and it doesn't do anything to we could at least feel good about the kid, because we all still love him. It's not like we hate him. He hasn't done anything wrong to us. It's just he didn't make it for us. But I'd like to see him, just for him, do something well, or at minimum improve his trade value, something. But we're seeing nothing. We're not getting. There's no nuggets to chew on. There's nothing.
Dude, so when I watch this, it's just like I'm hoping that Sam shows something, because I think the fastest way to turn this team around, aside from getting Trevor Lawrence and getting the head coach and everything like that, is building around Sam. Like, that's going to be you have to have hope in Sam if we're not taking the quarterback early on, because if you can draft Sewell at 2, you bring in Thuney, and now that offensive line looks legit. Now you're adding weapons and wide receivers and some defensive pieces, and then you start getting excited. But with Sam playing the way he is the last 2 weeks, I am not confident in Sam whatsoever. But I think it's probably I think they're going to stick with him. I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback this year. Just a gut feeling.
Well, that brings me to something. So there's been quite a few people asking me, kind of similar to the Talking Jets panel on Tuesday, what I think about really thinking about drafting Wilson at number 2. And I said, well, look, O'Leary is going to be here. I just started looking into him a little bit more because and being inspired by the things Matt was saying. But Matt, can you tell these guys, would you take him and why quickly, if you would?
No, I absolutely will. And he's not a perfect prospect. Trevor Lawrence is pretty much the perfect prospect. But between Fields and Wilson, what I like more about Wilson is he has that huge arm. He has that deep ball accuracy. The only concerns with him are he sometimes can get into the habit of forcing throws and some injury durability. He's been fine this year. And with the forcing throws thing, I think if you put that with a good coach and a good coordinator and a good quarterback coach, you can unlearn that. The issue with Darnold is we've seen the bad decision-making for 3 straight years going into a 4th year. I don't know if you can break that, but I'd be willing to bet more so that you could break a potential rookie quarterback out of those bad habits. But to me, the ability to throw from all different kinds of arm slots is super exciting. The velocity on the ball is exciting, and he can run too. He's not Justin Fields level of running, or maybe not even Trevor Lawrence levels of running, but he can hold his own. So I'm really not concerned about him making the jump to the next level. And I think you absolutely should take your quarterback 2 at number 2. I don't think that's a reach for either of those guys there.
Would you entertain doing that little thing we're hearing a lot of people say with telling the Bengals we're going to take Sewell, getting their pick, their second round pick, which looks like pick 34? Would you be willing to play that game and then take Wilson, or would you just take him and call it a day?
You can maybe sell me on that if they're coming up to take Sewell. You can maybe sell me on that. I don't want to move too much further than that, because then I think you run the risk of a team like the Panthers moving up and taking your guy. So the only place I would be willing to move is that one spot back, I guess.
Right, because the Panthers are at 4 right now, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah. And they're coming. They want somebody. They definitely want a quarterback, man.
Well, so some interesting things. If the Bengals pull off the win against the Texans and the Panthers and the Falcons lose, the Bengals are now picking down at pick 5. So if the Falcons and Panthers lose out, we just need the Bengals to win one game. So I guess it could benefit us either way. I'm very much in the camp of not making the pick at 2 and trying to get a second round pick from the Bengals to slide down the 1 pick if they want Sewell. Like if we're going to take the quarterback, if quarterback's the decision, I would sell real hard that we're thinking about taking the tackle. It's like, hey, you know what? We got some other teams calling about this guy. They're offering us first. You give us your second. Let's wheel and deal. I'm all about sliding down to 3, taking Wilson. If it's Fields, I hope he plays well. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the January 1st game against Clemson. I think that'll tell us, a lot.
Yeah, and we were talking about it. I don't know. Are you going to have a live stream, Ryan? What are you thinking for that?
Yeah, I'm going to do it. If you guys want to, jump on with me, I'm all about it. We could take a look at this kid, at the same time while we cry about not having Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, right. Well, it'll be the consolation bowl.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So Ryan at Jets Talk 24/7 YouTube channel, he's going to be live streaming that game. So if you guys want to watch it among brothers and maybe a sister or two, like Aunt Gina, she might pop in, but that's where to go to watch that game. So let's do this. What do you think at the end of today, as far as our chances, Jaguars, Bears, everything you were just saying about the Panthers and the Bengals and the Jets and the Browns? What do you think? Ryan, you can go first. What do you think is going to happen today? What's your prediction?
I think Jets wind up winning. I think Jaguars wind up winning. We go through another stressful week next week. We wind up with the 2nd overall pick. I think the Bengals fall to the 4th pick. I think they beat the Texans, but I don't know who. I think the Falcons and the Panthers, one of them could pull off a win in the next 2 weeks.
Interesting. So, Matt, what do you think is going to happen? What's your prediction for today?
I think the Jets are going to win this game, and I want the Jaguars to win, so we still have some life, but I think the Bears end up pulling it off, an ugly win in the second half, and then we just go into next week knowing that it's going to be pick 2, which is kind of depressing. But then at that point, like Ryan said earlier, you could root for a win because it doesn't really matter one way or the other.
Right. So in other words, you think by the end of today, the dream is over?
Correct. I think it's going to be over. I hope to be proven wrong, but just based on how everything's going, I think the Jaguars are going to fall apart in the second half, and I think the Jets are going to win an ugly game today, like, I don't know, 16-9 or something.
So gross. We're the gross.
There's no hope for us.
I know.
So now one more prediction. Now you guys see La Conforta's out there talking shit about the Jets firing Adam Gase today. Do you think there's any merit to this? You guys think that this is real?
No, I think he gets fired after the season. I think what happens, I think Confora, what he's doing is he's saying there's a shot it could happen. He has no inside sources. It's just because the NFL changed that rule. And then they're like, oh, well, maybe the Jets will move on from him so they can start talking about other candidates. But what candidates are going to really be interviewing while they're still, dialed into their team seasons? You're looking at Daboll. Now maybe you start looking at like
the enemy.
I don't know. Are there any guys from teams that aren't making the playoffs that you want? Like maybe Saleh or however you say his name from the 49ers. I don't know. I mean, you could already interview college coaches. That's not an issue. It's just the teams that are in the NFL and their coordinators.
Yeah. What do you think, Matt? Same thing?
Yeah, kind of the same mindset. Maybe a Joe Brady would be another name that you'd want to talk to, a team not making the playoffs. But I think that he gets fired on Black Monday, January 4th. It'll be all over.
Yeah. So, Ryan, you saw on Jet Nation, one of our guys, Moggles, with a very legitimate source, gave us a boatload of information. I asked him if I could make a video on it. He gave me the okay. Marvin Lewis. How would you feel if Marvin Lewis was the choice?
Oh, I saw that and I just felt like yuck. I mean, I'll try to spin this as best I can. And he's a legitimate head coach, and the Bengals are something like 3-24 or something like that in the last 2 years without Marvin Lewis. So like, I don't know. I think there's a good shot at you getting AJ Green then probably towards the tail end of his career. If you want to like bring in someone like that, he's stable. I don't love the personalities he brings in, like the Pac-Man Jones, the Vontaze Burfict, like those types of characters that Douglas doesn't seem to want to have in there. Right. Now there is the connection to Douglas because of, Baltimore. Marvin Lewis was the defensive coordinator for that fabulous Baltimore Ravens 2000 defense when Joe Douglas was down there as a scout. So I could see it. And then if he comes in here, I think we're definitely taking Penei Sewell and just building that O-line the way they did with Was it Ogden? I think it was Ogden, right?
Yeah, Ogden was Baltimore, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I could see them doing something along those lines. But, man, it would be – I hope we don't get Marvin Lewis. I really don't.
What do you think, Matt? Any legitimacy, and how would you feel about it? I mean,
it could absolutely happen. I'd be disappointed if he's coming back to be the defensive coordinator. Sure, absolutely, I would love that, but I don't want him as the head coach. To me, it would be another retread. Which I know he did have some success. They had some good regular seasons, but I don't think he'd be someone to like get you over the hump. I think it'd be almost like a Jim Caldwell kind of hire where you just go middle of the road for a while, for a few years, and then move on. I don't know. It's not. I mean, this is gonna sound really spoiled, but it's not like flashy enough.
Give me Marvin Lewis as the defensive coordinator. I'll take Kafka, the quarterback coach from the Chiefs. It sounds like he's possibly getting some looks as a head coach this year, along with the enemy.
Interesting.
Now, that's the kind of crew, like if we were able to get, let's say that the Bill Cowher thing was real, and he came over here and brought in Kafka as the offensive coordinator and Marvin Lewis as the defensive coordinator. Now we're talking. But Marvin Lewis, just so we know, is 0-7 in the playoffs, has never won a playoff game. And that's concerning. It's concerning. Mm-hmm. I think he's probably a really good candidate to get that second chance, like a la Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll, Dick Vermeil, Andy Reid. I think he's, one of those guys that should eventually get his second shot. But I hear you guys. As I teeter back and forth, but I think ultimately I'd think that we lost out on the guys we really wanted if that's the guy. And then we would be falling back to plan B and C again, which just seems to be what we always end up doing, and I hate it. I'm done with plan. I want plan A. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, all right,
plan
guys.
A went away last week.
What's that? Yeah,
plan A went away last week.
Yep.
I know. Well, plan A .2? Can it
sure.
do that?
Yeah.
Right. All right, guys. The game is back on. I appreciate it. Thank you both for coming on. And any plugs you want to give these guys before you leave?
Monday call-in show tomorrow, and Tuesday Talking Jets panel with these guys. Yeah.
There you go, Matt.
Absolutely. I'll be doing the post-game show after today's game on the channel, and then hanging with these guys Tuesday. New episode of Just Jets on Wednesday, so stay tuned for that.
Best podcast in the Jets, the Jetosphere. Just Jets. Love it. I listen to it every week, man. All right, guys. Thank you for coming on. I'll talk to you soon.
Take it easy, guys. Thanks for having us on, GreenBean.
All right, there they go. Two of the best Jets content creators out there on the web. I am absolutely confident in that. I love almost everything that they do. Just to follow up with what Ryan said, he does the Monday call-in show from 8 to 10. I want to let you guys know we had a really good time last week for the first one, but we're going to do it again. The 10 o'clock mock. When Ryan's show is over at 10 p.m., come on over to GreenBean Jets Fan YouTube. We're going to be doing a live interactive mock. This week, we are going to focus on Sam Darnold being retained and kept as our starter, and we're going to see how the draft goes that way. So if we kept Sam and that was our choice, what would we do and what could we do in the PFN mock draft simulator? So 10 o'clock, GreenBean Jets Fan YouTube channel. So right after Ryan. So that's that. So what have you guys been talking about? I saw some good shit. This was a fun one. I saw Greg Tarr saying if Marvin Lewis was the head coach, would Rex be brought back as the defensive coordinator? What do you guys think of that? I honestly didn't even think of that. It seems obvious. Don't forget Rex Ryan. Look at that block. Did you see that block? I got to hold on a second. Was that Becton? What was that? Show that damn replay. Look at this. Look at Becton. Oh, that was – who is that? That's Elfline? Did you see that block? I know. And then Darnold runs out of bounds, dude. What the fuck? Plan W for worst. Joe Lindsay, that's awesome. That's awesome. We're down to Plan W. Worst. Oh, that tickles me. Yeah. Joe Merweed. Hopefully I'm saying that right. That's a fun way to say it anyway. Merweed. I love that Joe Douglas is targeting high character players. Notice how many of last year's draft picks were team captains. Agreed. And that's what MC was referring to when he said, you know, the fact that these guys are still playing, we don't have a whole bunch of those crybaby punks right now. You know, you still got like Blasson Austin. He's in that realm a little bit. But we have a lot of high character guys, albeit young guys. Marcus May's a high character guy, and he's a vet. But a lot of Crowder's a high character guy, and he's a vet. But a lot of our guys are young, and they're still playing their asses off for a shitty head coach and a shitty team with no chance of doing anything. Look at this. Oh, my gosh. And that, I think, is a testament to the type of character guys Joe Douglas is bringing in. Now, don't forget, Mangini liked to do the same thing. And you got to have that balance between actual impact and high character, right? You don't just want character guys that suck. You know, you want to have guys that are dynamic and everything. But there are great players that are respectful players. Bryce Hall's top of the heap, in my opinion. He's a great young kid. He is such a high character guy. I love him to death. If you follow his Instagram, he's always talking about all this losing being part of the plan. He can't wait to find out what he's going to learn from this and what the lessons are. And I mean, I'm telling you, you know, you couldn't ask for a better type of player to look at the losing and go, oh no, this is fine, man. I'm not rooting for losing. We're working on it, but it all means something. It's building something for us. And that's why we're doing this. It's important. And I love that mentality. I love it. So Gina Serecchia, that's Aunt Gina Arena, likes to say that she thinks we should build around Sam Darnold. So good. Yeah, a lot of us think that, man. A lot of us think that these days. So you think J-Mac thinks Becton would move to right tackle and Sewell will stay at left. Look at Sam Darnold. Dude, we're blowing him out. We're blowing him out. Look, Jigs. Incredible.
Now he's looking like the QB that we wish he was.
I agree, Joe Montori. All right, Reaper, hold on. How far up is it? Let me see. Okay, let's do it. Let me do this first, because this is what we got to do when we score. Jets Darnold throwing a bomb touchdown. What was that, 35 yards, 40 yards? So let's look at Reaper's question here. He says, hear me out on this. Has anyone considered that the Jags could possibly not want Lawrence at 1? Can't we consider that they like Fields or Wilson or Lance more than Trevor Lawrence? Now, I'll give you two answers here. I'll give you two parts to my one answer, or I'll give you a lead up. Don't forget, I forget the year of it, but when the year where Teddy Bridgewater, Blake Bortles, and Johnny Football Manziel were in the draft, it was widely considered that Teddy Bridgewater was the quarterback to take, and the X factor was Johnny Manziel. Some people were going to shoot for the moon with this kid, and he had that really boomer bust potential, and somebody was going to take a shot on him, and he might even go first overall, right? If anybody knows the year of that draft, tell me. I'll look it up and put some stuff up there. So the Jags have done that before because, as everybody knows, they picked the first quarterback, and who did they take? They took Bortles out of nowhere. Nobody thought that the Jags were going to take Bortles. It was Teddy Bridgewater all day, or if they were going to shoot for the moon, it would have been Johnny Manziel. And they took Blake Bortles. So the precedent is there. That said, my answer is no. I don't think that that's going to happen. I think Trevor Lawrence is absolutely going to be the number 1 overall pick. I don't think there's any question about it. Sadly, how great would it be if all this shit happens and they pull a Browns and they take Baker Mayfield, so they take Justin Fields at the last minute and we get Trevor Lawrence? Now, is it possible? Yes. I think it's highly unlikely, Reaper. But I like how you're thinking, buddy. I do. Let's see what Chris Leavesley. I think that's probably a closer way to say it. If we get Thuney in free agency and Sewell can move either Becton or Sewell to right tackle and have got a top O-line, you only need to fill right guard, which we can do in the third. Absolutely. And there's going to be some amazingly talented guards in the third as well as center. So you could go center. You can take a Linderbaum in the third, probably, maybe even fourth. You grab Linderbaum in the third, and he's a very good center. And then you can move Connor McGovern to right guard, his natural spot. And, dude, we're stacked. That said, I don't think we're going to see us grabbing Sewell. I really do think we're grabbing a quarterback in the first round. But I think we're going to be some moves and shakes and all that sort of stuff. And I think Sewell's going to be before we ultimately pick. But it's not a bad thought because I'm telling you, man, our offensive line would be one to recognize, my friends. No way, Lindsay. No way. All right, let's see what we got. Bears 20, Jags 10. Yep, that's what we're looking at. The Bengals are tied up with the Texans. The Ravens are blowing out the Giants. Not blowing out, but they're kicking their ass nice and soundly, 20-3. Falcons and Chiefs are tied at 7 with 3 minutes left in the third. Let's see what these Jets do here. Come on, Mayfield, you turd. This guy sucks. Oh, the Colts are stomping the Steelers. Good. I hate the Steelers. Can I just tell you guys that? I hate them. I'm so sick of them. I'm sick of them. Reaper wants Wilson at 3. Yeah, I go, look, you guys heard O'Leary. Like I said, I respect Matt O'Leary. All right, like it's not just like, oh yeah, he's got it. Like I respect his opinion because I believe him to be well thought out and researched. I like guys like that. I listen to people all the time, right? But a lot of guys just like to talk, and that's fine. But as far as me absorbing opinions, Matt O'Leary is one of those guys I listen to. I listen to his take because I know that he didn't just arrive there by happenstance. He's actually looking into things and researching, and he's intelligent, right? So you heard the way he thinks about Wilson. And he asked me last week, he said, GreenBean, I think you should really dig in and take a look at this kid. I don't think you really understand how strong his positives are. And he's right. Like I said in that Talking Jets panel, I said, I don't really know this kid. I've watched a highlight video. Like that's about it. And I watched some of that, still again, highlights of the Boca Bowl. So I don't really know Wilson yet. I just started looking into him this week. Boy, oh boy, do the Browns suck. Build that wall. Look at Ed Stewart. Build that wall. I'm with it. But the thing is, you don't need Sewell to do it. I look, I'm going to be really honest with you guys. I would prefer, if even without a quarterback, I would prefer moving back acquiring a second round pick for the move back, or maybe even more, and taking Wyatt Davis or taking Creed Humphrey. I would prefer that rather than the right tackle. I don't think Fant's a problem. I don't. And I think if we had better guards next to Fant, I think Fant is fine. Which, by the way, how come nobody's talking about our boy Joe Douglas and his evaluation prowess? With that one, no one had Fant as a starting right tackle. No one. Not even the team that he was playing for, the Seattle Seahawks. They signed Brandon Shell, our right tackle, to replace him. They had no interest in re-signing George Fant. Joe Douglas went out on a limb, trusted his own evaluation team, and went and paid him to be their starting right tackle. And look at him. He's playing well, man, in a bad year. He's not the problem. So I would rather see us grab Wyatt Davis, a very talented Quentin Nelson type of guard, or Creed Humphrey, by far the most talented center in the draft. So I would rather do that and I'd rather a Wyatt Davis and a second round pick than Penei Sewell. It's my thoughts. That's just me. Oh my God, Thor. Dude, how crazy was that Doug Bryan had 2 field goals bounce off the uprights? 2! Yeah, that was a bad one. You guys remember Officer Joe, the guy I had on here a couple times? Joe the cop. He's retiring any day now from the police force in New Jersey. But I was at his house that game. We were in his basement. It's a big, huge shrine to Kiss and the Jets. It's just one of the best places to be in the world. And we watched that game, and it was so exciting, and we thought we had it. Fucking Doug Bryan. That was a tough one. I agree. That sucked. Ooh, look at Greg Tarr. I don't know. What do you think, Greg? You think that's really what's going on? You think our interim DC is a better play caller, better schematically than Greg Williams? It's possible. I don't know. I think his first game said a lot. I mean, he came out and they looked like Swiss cheese. They couldn't do a damn thing. I think the team is just they've dropped every pretense. It's just one of those things. When you play loose, you play better. When you're all uptight and tense, and there's a lot of stress and pressures and all that, people don't tend to play well. Right now, they don't give a shit. Like evidenced by that Crowder to Berrios play. It's just like they're throwing it all to the wind. What do we give a shit? And they're playing loose and having fun. So that's what we're seeing. I think. I think. Oh, Creed Humphrey's a good one, Reaper. I'm telling you. I don't know. Frank Bush, I don't know. I think here's the thing. The only thing I don't want to see is our team, our staff telling a new coach coming in, you got to retain Boyer, you got to retain Frank Bush, you got to retain anybody. I don't want to see it. If the new coach comes in and goes, I really like Denard, I really like Bush, that's fine. But it seems like we just have an inability to clean house, cut the cord, and move on. We're always keeping somebody. Look at his screen. P-Ryan running the screen behind Elfline. Look at these guys. Josh Andrews laying blocks. Yeah, great. Walter Payton, Man of the Year. Good stuff. All right, here comes Holton. It's John Holton. It's not over. We have the whole fourth quarter. No, I can't allow this. I can't allow it. Not yet. Look at Sam throwing the bomb. Oh, and he dropped it. He had it, you know. That was a great pass. Sam with maybe his best pass of the year. And Perryman drops it. Everybody wants him to keep him. I think this guy's gone. Look at this. He actually didn't drop it. I thought it hit his hands. Just missed it. Maybe not the best pass by Sam. Maybe, and I thought so too, Ryan Schwinger. I thought so too. It looks like it was just too far. Do it again, Sam. 2nd and 10. Throw it far. 40 yards. You're on the 49-yard line. Throw it. Oh, look at P. Ryan. Trying to dance in the backfield. It's not where you dance. That's right. Gina, this is the thing. If we could be part, if it's just a number 2 pick, that's what it is. And we could knock the Cleveland Browns out of the playoffs or help that, I would be happy with that. I hate the Cleveland Browns. Greg Tarr, you're right. Even worse for me than the Mud Bowl, because we had that game, the double overtime game. I watched that game alone. I was 14 years old at the time. I watched it. I stayed up late downstairs in my living room. Look at Sam. What are you doing, buddy? 3rd and 11. That game was ours. We were up by 10 in the 4th quarter with 5 minutes left or whatever it was. And what happened, Greg? Tell us. Educate us. I know what happened. Let's see if you can tell everybody. Anybody remember what happened there and why the Cleveland Browns were able to get back into it? Anybody? Greg, let us have it. And then we'll get over to Windows. Windows just did a mock. We're going to get over there and take a look at it. We're going to deconstruct his mock. What happened? Roughing the kicker. Let me see this. I didn't see it. Did you pick on Braden Mann like that? Yep, you got to leave his plant foot. No, it's not. You got to know that stuff. It's like these guys. With blocks in the back on punt. Oh, it's hard. No, it's not. You don't touch the guy in the back. I don't give a shit. How many times are we going to see block in the back penalties on punts, right? When you're diving for the ball, you take a chance. If the punter's plant foot lands on your body and he can break his leg or his ankle, that's you. It's roughing the passer. It's clean. It's clear. I don't give a shit. I don't want to hear that. Look at Sam. Sam's having a tough go. Mark Garrett, there it is. Hold on. There it is. You are absolutely right. My all-time favorite New York Jet, the guy who really solidified my coming on board as a Jets fan. I loved Mark Gastineau. Loved him to death. But that roughing the passer was so blatant, so dumb. One of the worst plays in Jets history. And that is what enabled the Cleveland Browns to come back. And we battled it out in double overtime, and we fucking lost. But here's the thing. Here's the truth of that one. We probably would have beaten the Elway Broncos. We did it earlier that year. You remember that? We did it earlier in the year. We beat the Broncos. I think that was when we went 10 and we were 9-1. I think is how it went. We beat the Broncos to become 10-1. And then we lost every game after that. It was crazy until the playoffs. But we would have beaten the Broncos, and then it would have been a Subway Super Bowl against the Giants, and they would have kicked our ass. That Giants team was no joke. So the Bears are up 27-10. I want to just say to you guys, I'm glad we're together, but this shit's over, guys. It's 27-10, and the Jets are up 20-3. I don't see it. I don't see it, guys. Look, Aunt Gina. Jets Mess is saying hello. Everybody should love Aunt Gina. She's the best. She's a die-hard Jets fan, man. Never gives up hope all through the years. I've watched 100 games with her. Easy. Yeah, you got to take a better angle, right, MC? All right, so let's get up to Windows. Let's see what he did. So Windows, our friend, just went and did a PFN mock. So he traded back with San Francisco for pick 12, pick 43, and the first, second, and third next year. That's a great trade. You know, I know that trade. I do this so much. You could have actually thrown in another pick, a fifth, and they would have accepted it. So just know that when you're countering, but it's still a great trade. You took Davis at 12, Humphrey at 26, Creed Humphrey. You took Wyatt Davis and Creed. All right. Wade with the second round pick. Let me tell you something. That might be my favorite cornerback in the draft, Shaun Wade. I know Farley and Horn, I get it. But for me, I like me some Shaun Wade. So that's a good pick. And you got Basham Jr. with the C. What's up with that? Give me the rest, Windows. I want to see what else you did. I want to see what you did in the later rounds. That is a good draft, everybody. And that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. If you're not picking a quarterback way up top, you can move back down. He got pick number 43. He's picking at 12 in the first, so that gives us 12 and 28, whatever it is. Pick 43 after having pick 34, I mean. Actually, we would have 33 if we're tied with the Jags. If not, then we get 34. Anyway, so we get 43, and next year's first, second, and third. That means we have 3 firsts, 2 seconds, 2 thirds next year. Come on. How do you not do something like that? Especially when you're looking at getting Wyatt Davis and Creed Humphrey in the first, Shaun Wade and Basham Jr. in the second. Dude. And then you're still going to get guys like St. Brown, or you're still going to get the guy from Baylor, the wide receiver. What the hell's his name? That's good, though, man. That's good. That's good. Windows, if you got the rest, put it up there. I want to see. Sheldon Richardson. Look at Sheldon Richardson. It's like ancient history. What do you guys think of that? He was the defensive rookie of the year. He was clearly a dominant force on the defensive line. And what did the Jets do? You remember? We moved him to linebacker. He's so talented. Why not just move him to linebacker? And the rest is history. Ridiculous. I hate that shit. That's right, though, Repo. Getting back to that Perryman bomb, it's the same thing. I completely agree. I just didn't say it, but I was thinking the same thing. Fucking guys give up on their routes, man. That's something you never see Mims doing. Oh, Mollett. We rooting for a win at this point, guys? We all jump ship on the tank? What do you think? Trevor's done. Put a fork in it. We all giving up on the tank as a collective? What is it? Give me a yay or nay. Is the tank over? We rooting for wins. Come on, Bryce. Good coverage. Got to turn your head on that one, kid. We're rooting for wins. Tank's over. We got Blunted Vegas. Tank's over. We got Merweed. Hell yeah, he's rooting for wins. Where is he? John Holton, our most positive brother, made my morning entirely different with his beautiful words of positivity today. John Holton jumps in and says, yes, the tank is over. I'm with you, Greg. I hate the Browns, and I hate the Browns fans almost as a collective. I don't like to be stereotypical and I don't like to lump people together in a lot of areas, but fuck that. I hate Browns fans. SG31 Black says, as long as we get rid of Gase and Darnold, I'm good. So the tank is over. Endless tunes. The tank is out of gas and has a broken transmission. Well said, man. Oh, the Browns are doing something, though. Let's get in the end zone and make it a game, huh? You know what's funny? As soon as we jump off the tank, this is how it goes for us. The energy will be – sorry, I got some problems over here. I got to adjust. As soon as we jump off, all of a sudden, just to make us unhappy, to fuck with our brains, this is how the Jets are, all of a sudden we'll lose. Maybe that's a trick. I don't know. It's just like you can understand why we're all so mentally ill. Look at this. Fuck Baker, tanks over. M-Wall 80. I know, Gator X. That's what we're talking about, man. Yeah, Joe, that's what we were talking about with O'Leary and Ryan. You know, it's like, you know, Lockenfora didn't really say that he had any sources. What he did say was that he has his thoughts are this. So it's not really a report, you know? Holy. All right, guys. Sweet revenge. Bingo. Mentally ill. Isn't it the truth, though? Isn't it? Oh, good. There's Windows. There's the rest of it. Okay, hold on. Okay, good. Thanks, Windows. I could chew on it. It's like a big roast beef sandwich to me. All right, so we got Wyatt Davis at 12. He got Creed Humphrey. He got Sean Wade and Carlos Basham Jr. at the edge. He got Amon-Ra St. Brown at 66. Or is that? Wait, let's see. Yeah, 66. You got Quincy Roche at 89. Damn, man. You got Sage Surratt at 96. Falele, the 400-pound, 6'9". He's the only guy in football that can make Mekhi Becton look small. So we got him for offensive tackle. Jones, the cornerback, at 139. I'm unfamiliar with Wallow, the linebacker. Let me know what school he's from. Stevenson, wide receiver, and Tariq Castro-Fields, the cornerback, at 216. Dude, could you imagine if that was our real draft? And that's without that's with banking on Sam. I mean, shit, look, you got a completely rebuilt offensive line. This is without free agency. You got cornerbacks, 2 edge rushers, 2 upper echelon edge rushers, I might add. You got Sage Surratt and Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's Wake Forest and USC, respectively. Another offensive tackle, another cornerback, another developmental wide receiver in Stevenson, and Tariq Castro-Fields. Within 2 years, he's a starting caliber cornerback, in my opinion. Dude, come on. This is what we're talking about. Windows, you got to make sure you hang out with me on Monday night at 10 o'clock, okay? 10 o'clock mock. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 10 o'clock mock. I'm going to make a song about it. What do you think? 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 10 o'clock, ma. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, ma. E-Rock jumping off the tank. It's over. Let's beat these brownies. Well, let's go, man. Let's see what the Jets, how the Jets respond. It's only a 10-point game now. It's only a 10-point game. Garrett Wallow, TCU. Okay, good. Yeah, I'll look into him. I'm unfamiliar. You know who I like as linebackers? I like Jabril Cox. I like Lloyd from Utah. And I like, if you guys aren't, I always pay attention to UVA. My number one target at UVA this year is a beautifully long and strong linebacker by the name of Charles Snowden. Plays linebacker, but he's also good off the edge. He's kind of a combo deal, a little bit more well-rounded. He's not a pure edge rusher, but he's good when he does it. And I like him. Check out Charles Snowden, Windows. See what you think. Let me know. I love him. I love him. That's right, Jim Batista. I was saying that I apologized to everybody earlier. Said the way I see it, the only thing that changed last week was the fact that I flaked out and didn't have this fucking live stream. So we ruined the energy. We put wrinkles in the water, and it didn't work. So I'm sorry. I am. I really believe that too. That's how it works over here. So 2 energy drinks in. Hold on, I'm gonna get another one. I'll play for anybody who wasn't here. I'm gonna play you guys little clips of my podcast. Oh, before I go, everybody take a look at the screen. I had to download the pictures. So I told you my Christmas card was me. As you guys know, I live and travel around the country in an RV. I'm in Fort Lauderdale now. I'll be leaving here Tuesday to go. I'm starting to head up North Florida on my way out of the state up to the Northeast. And we put our Christmas card together, which is me honoring Cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation. Shitter's full. Here it goes. Come on. Let me get the comment off so you can see it. What do you guys think? That's GreenBean as Cousin Eddie. That was my Christmas card picture this year. And I took a couple outtakes for you guys. Everybody take a look at the screen. It's not going to be up there forever. So that's me, my wife, and 2 kids. Outside my camper. That's my outside kitchen there. And I'll show you guys another outtake picture. Hold on. Where is it? There we go. What do you guys think? A good old GreenBean there, huh? What do you guys think? So I'll leave that up for a second. Give me a minute. I got to go on my first pee break of the day. I'm gonna do the thing though. Hold on.
They were beating us up last week about being not good enough. We didn't deserve. We got this guy Shap saying that we don't deserve the number 1 pick. A team like the Jets doesn't deserve to be rewarded with a guy like Trevor Lawrence. This is the shit we hear. So we win a game. Everybody's supposed to be happy. What does the NFL media do? They laugh at us. You guys couldn't even do that. You can't even lose right. Yeah. It's a double-edged sword, and it cuts both ways for us. So, you.
There, I left the picture up there. Okay, good. All right, you guys see it? Yeah, thank you, Joe Lindsay. I appreciate it. Look at the Jets. This is what they do. This is what the Jets do to your friends. Oh. Dude, look at Look at the Jags game, guys. That shit got out of hand quick. That sucks. Do you own Crack Streams, Batista? What's up?
I want to get this game. It's only $1.50.
So?
It's on a discount.
What game is it?
Sled Dog Saga.
No.
Why?
Because I don't have any money.
Oh no, it's my money.
How are you going to pay for it?
I just got.
No, but how? How do you pay for it? Like a credit card or something?
No.
How do
I
you
don't
do?
know.
You just click pay and it pays? Where does that money come out of? See, this is what happens. These kids,
I'll give you a buck.
they're taking
I'll give you a
advantage
buck.
of an old man with a gray beard. They think I'm stupid.
But I'll give you a buck and 50.
I don't know. Wait till mommy gets back. I say, go ahead. See if you can do it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't want to see Perry wearing green. I know. Well, you know what, J-Mac? I actually agree. Like, here's the thing. You don't want him to be your starter. You don't want Perryman to be one of your starters, right? You don't, because he's not dependable. He gets hurt too much. So you don't want him to be your wide receiver 1. Wide receiver 2, okay. But then you're so if you bring in a Devontae Smith, let's just say, or a Rondell Moore, or somebody like that, Jamar Chase, whoever it is, you bring in a real number 1, or maybe even like Chris Godwin or Allen Robinson or something like that. You bring in a real number 1 receiver, and then you have Denzel Mims as your number 2. So that pushes Perryman down to 3. Is he dependable enough to be your 3rd wide receiver? Because you got Crowder there. Or you should have somebody in the slot there. I think Perryman could be effective out of the slot. But like I said, once you start getting past the 3rd wide receiver, you need those guys to be able to play specials. You need it. It has to happen. So I don't know. I think, me personally, I'd rather bounce him and get a kid. That's what I'd do. I bring in Chris Godwin, and I draft my first 3 picks are going to be a wide receiver. You can get Amon-Ra St. Brown from USC in the 2nd for sure. I'd rather have him than Perryman. Unless he says, hey, I'll come for $1 million a year. Okay. And then let him fight it out. Right, Joe? This is the thing. Everybody's talking about Allen Robinson, and I would be stoked to have him. I'd love it. But I think the secret gem of this free agent wide receiver class is Chris Godwin. Because the Bucks can't keep them all, man. They can't. And Godwin's going to be the one that they let go, I think. He's younger than Allen Robinson, and he's more versatile than Allen Robinson. And he's just as effective. So, that's how I see it.
First down, 42-yard line of the Jets, 17-yard pickup. Bradley playing well off the practice squad for Cleveland.
Oh, I love Godwin. Denzel Mims was never hurt until this year. The Gase effect. I agree, Corsello. Now, he had that one injury in college, right? But it was like a broken hand or a broken wrist, but he played through it. It affected his game, and he had like all the drops that he had in his college career came during that time, but he played through it. This was the first year he came onto the Jets, and it was the Jets Gase effect. I'm with you, man. Everywhere Gase goes, there's a rash of injuries. Like we were talking about with New York Sports MC. You see Tannehill? Tannehill only played 50% of the time when Gase was the head coach there for 3 years. 50% of the time. It's not the way it is on the Titans. He's healthy. So what is it? It's fucking Gase, man. I don't care. Some people just have the black cloud. You know what I mean? It's real, man. I'm not going to pretend to be able to explain it to you. I don't know, but it's real. See, that's the thing. 31 Black, I actually disagree. He was never injured, man. He had that one injury in college. It was his hand, and he played through it. So, no, he played through everything, man. He played the whole time. He was great. He didn't have the injury moniker on him. I fucking love Denzel Mims. Let me tell you guys, I don't know, if you guys caught wind of us, like me and Ryan and Matt and everybody before the draft last year. Dude, I was so high on Mims. He was like I liked Judy, Jefferson. I was kind of CeeDee Lamb too, but not as much as everybody else. And I liked Laviska Shenault was way up there for me, and Mims. But like I said, I would have taken Mims over Shenault if it was equal, just because of Laviska Shenault's injury history. He was always injured. But I like him better as a receiver, but I would have taken Mims over him. So that, Mims was like my third or fourth receiver in the whole draft, man. The fact that people were taking Ayuk and Rieger and Van Jefferson in front of him just shows how stupid these guys are, in my opinion. They might be good, but Denzel Mims is setting up to be a dominant type of receiver, dude. He's a number one receiver, in my opinion. It might take him 3 years to get there, but you see, he's already there. If we had a real offensive coordinator that said, holy shit, I got Denzel Mims, and used him, it'd be a whole different thing. Damn. Nice running, Chubb. No, it's okay. Don't you sweat it. We're not talking shit. It's all good. And I understand the concern, man. Dude, this year he missed fucking 7 games with injury. It's bullshit. But that's the craziest thing. And this is what I tell a lot of people when you talk about which coaches are good to come here and which GMs and all that kind of stuff. You can't just bring in Joe Brady to the New York Jets, in my opinion. Why? Now, I've been watching this team for 38 years or whatever it is, right? 37 fucking years. Oh, my God. And what I have seen is guys that are mild-mannered or don't come in here and just, you have to consider the Jets curse. It's real. Get them. If you can't consider that stuff, it's worse here. It's thicker here. The weight is heavier here. You might be great out in Phoenix or in Tempe, Arizona for the Cardinals. You might be a nice coach over, in Houston. Those same guys that would succeed there will not succeed here, man. There's a special breed. Joe Douglas learned that. This isn't the damn Baltimore Ravens. This isn't the fucking Philadelphia Eagles. This is the New York Jets. This isn't the Chicago Bears. This is the Jets. Our cloud is thicker. Okay? So he learned it. He brought in Dotson. He brought in Perryman. He brought in Denzel Mims. He brought in, when he had Vincent Smith and Jeff Smith, he thought his kids were going to come up. He had Crowder. He had Berrios. He thought he was good at wide receiver. What happened here? You can't just we knew it. That's why you should have brought in another wide receiver from the wide receiver draft that we had. You needed to bring another one. He didn't think he needed to because he thought he was in fucking Baltimore. He's not in Baltimore. You're in and not only just New York. You're working for the New York Jets. We have to be extra cautious. You have to factor the curse in to what's going on with your team building. You have to factor it in. And people that don't do that, they lose. Look at Todd Bowles. He thought he was going to come over here and just be the Cardinals. And it worked. How well did that work here? Casey Rogers. Casey Rogers can't be the defensive coordinator here. J-Mac, it's a curse, buddy. It preceded the ownership. It preceded the ownership. There's a black cloud here, man. I'm not saying ownership's great. But when they let Joe Douglas take the team and run it, you'll see it's going to be different. It's going to be different. They had their hands in the sauce a little bit too much, but it's a curse. There's some, I mean, that's just the word I'm using. I don't know, but it's, it might not be a curse like some witch somewhere, like you will all suffer. Like I don't know if that's what it is, but it's something. There's something you have to overcome here that you don't have to overcome in these other places. Seattle, What is this? I know this game ain't over, folks. Cleveland Browns are coming. Chubb is on fire. Look at him. He's running possessed. I don't know, guys. 41-10 in Jacksonville, man. Look at this. Pushing the pile. I don't know. This is getting crazy. Plenty of space on the tank. So then there goes Franklin Myers. Come on, man, get up. Man. This is interesting. Look at Holton. If the year 2020 is an NFL team, it is 100% the Jets. Now imagine 2020 for the past 4 decades. That's us, right? If it was like the football version of 2020 is the Jets. Exactly. Like these Pats fans or like Dallas fans or Steelers fans, they don't have any idea, dude. If they dealt with 5 years of what we dealt with, 5 years in a row of them absolutely sucking, they'd leave. Half their fans wouldn't even be there anymore. I believe that. A lot would, but a lot of them would just bounce and they'd come back when they're winning. They wouldn't go to games. They wouldn't do anything. Ooh, look at Joe. He's killing it today. Having a lot of Joe Montori today. Imagine that. Could you imagine if Trevor Lawrence came out and said, I was fine playing for the Jets, but this Jacksonville shit, I'm not going there. You got to be kidding me. That's the abyss. At least the Jets, you get a lot of, it's in a huge market. You get a lot of press. In Jacksonville, it's where you go to die. Let's see what Wynn does. If I'm all aboard, building the line via the draft free agency, offensive tackle Becton, Fant, Valeli, offensive guard, Sheriff for Thuney. I don't like Sheriff. That's just me, but I'm with you. Davis, McGovern, Elfline, Humphrey. Move McGovern to guard. Yeah, man. Look, see, the thing is Joe Douglas already started doing it. Some worked, some didn't. And he's still doing it. He's out there. He's just building. People are saying he lied to Sam Darnold's mom. I don't think so. He brought in 7 new offensive linemen, man. 7 new offensive linemen. He used his first ever Jets draft pick as a GM. His first ever draft pick as a GM on a left tackle. You know what I mean? So he's doing the thing. He's realistic. You cannot build it you can't tear it down and rebuild it in one offseason. It doesn't happen. There it is. Ooh, Big Frank. What are we doing, buddy? What's going on over here? Look at Sam. He's like, shit, I should have thrown that ball better.
Could you please quiet down? You're disturbing my gaming.
Get out of my house.
It's my house too. If it wasn't for me, we wouldn't have got it.
How do you know?
Because I take up some space.
Get out of my house. Go in your own house. Go over there.
I am a 9-year-old, if you have forgotten. I do not
Oh,
have
he missed it. Ooh, we're going to, dude, that's key. Cody Parkey. Look at this guy. That was big, guys. I'll pass it on, Mess. That's crazy. I know, Greg. Both teams' kickers suck. What's up, Godflesh? What are you doing, man? Bum knee. Yeah. What's up, buddy? Glad to have you here. I didn't even promote on Jet Nation today. I completely forgot. I completely spaced on that one. I'm glad you're here, dude. It's nice to have you. We're having a lively day. This game almost killed us. So we got a 4-point game with 12 minutes and 38 seconds left. The Jets have crumbled after dominating the first 3 quarters. Yeah. Doesn't even make it back to the 20. That's not a good way to start the drive. This is the point. Where'd you go? This is the point where Darnold needs to be galvanized. Right. Show us who he will be for the rest of his career. Either march down there like Joe Montana or come out like Bubby fucking Brister. I'm with you, man. So let's make some predictions right now. Who thinks Darnold's going to rise up and be a man and score and keep the Jets' victory intact? Who thinks he's going to crumble and be go out with a whimper here? This is a big one. This is a big game. What do you guys think? Oh, you're in Maine, Bumney? Yeah, I bet it's cool. I'm actually on my way there. It's going to take me 4 months to get there, but I'm on my way. Oh, look at Sam with a 3-yard pass to Crowder. Crumble. Sammy is the man. 3 and out is my prediction. So we're getting there. We got Ryan Schwinger says 3 and out. Bum knee or Godflesh believes in Sam. He's the man. Jets Mess says crumble. I feel like we say this every week and he crumbles. Oh no, my game just went off. What the? Come on, man. Let's do it. This is bullshit. There we go. Okay, everybody be quiet. Why? What's going on in Southern Maine? What is it? Not a chance. Windows. Who's that? Yeah, where is Mims? Is he hurt? I don't even know what the hell happened. You fucking Frank Gore. You fucking Frank Gore. Coach Weiss took you to you mean Charlie Weiss took you? I'm from the same county as Charlie Weiss. I remember when he was, what was he, like Mountain Lakes or one of those teams, head coaches for a little while. I know some people who played against him and stuff. I'm from that era. Getting the punt leg ready. Look at this. Damn. Oh, is it really? Hey, dude, I'm in South Florida, man. This is a. I just got tested again last week. Me and my family. We do it all the time. I get tested, make sure things are all right. But Yeah, it's bad down here too. I won't be in Maine for months. I won't be in Maine till the end of June. But that's where I'm gonna be up there for probably a month at least, I think, in Maine, and then I might bop over into Canada if they let us, and then like Niagara and all up there. I have a lot of theme parks to hit up there, man. Six Flags New England, and then all the guys in Pennsylvania. We got lots of theme parks to hit up there. It's quite a few. Who's hurt? P. Ryan's hurt again? Look at these guys. Everybody's hurt all the time. Oh, gotcha. High school, Montclair, New Jersey. I got you. Nice. P. Ryan. I like P. Ryan. He's one of the guys I actually wanted in the draft. I thought it was a little early for him. I was looking for him in the fifth. I would have flipped. Like for me, I would have probably taken Bryce Hall in the fourth. I wouldn't have taken that chance. I wanted Bryce Hall as well. So it worked out. It is what it is. But I would have, like I said, I was looking at P. Ryan as a fifth. And I was looking at Bryce Hall as a third. So the fact that he would have been there in the fourth, I wouldn't have been able to pass on him. That's me. So guys, let me show you something. While I have you, if you would be so kind as to give me some likes. I think I only have like 7 likes or something on YouTube. You guys got to give me some likes and stuff if you can. It helps. Facebook, YouTube, give me the likes. Give me the subs. Hang out with me, man. And then on the bottom, you'll see scrolling across the screen is my social media. Where we are right now is my Jet Nation, the Jet Nation YouTube page. This is one of 2 shows that I do for Jet Nation. This is our weekly live stream for the game. And then we do a weekly video on the road with GreenBean from all the different locations that I go around the country. We usually get a video, something topical. We don't do so much game recaps and all that. I leave that to everybody else. And then we talk about some bigger, larger kind of ideas and stuff like that. But yeah, so Jet Nation, I do the 2 shows. Love Jet Nation. Go to jetnation.com as well. If you're looking to talk Jets, man, there's no place better. There are thousands of people on there. Our buddy who's in here right now, what was his name in here? Mr. Bumney Godflesh88. He is from Jet Nation. He could tell you. I mean, it's crazy in there. It's just anytime if I go in there at 2 a.m. and I say something, people are there to talk. It's crazy. It's 24 hours a day, Jet talk. And the topics are, there's a lot of guys with sources, and there's guys that work as offensive linemen, evaluators and scouts, and there's all kinds of guys in there, man, and it's great. But my social media, Instagram, GreenBean the Jets fan with the underscores, YouTube, GreenBean Jets fan. That's where I do my live streams, like my Monday night, the 10 o'clock mock on Monday nights. And we do the podcast, which the first episode came out last week. Look, the Jets are punting. And, some other videos and stuff like that, like the Sunday morning sit down that I did this morning. Okay, they got him. So if you guys can, I would really appreciate subs on Jet Nation and likes and such. And I would really appreciate some follows and follow me on social media, Twitter and Instagram. And I would really appreciate a sub and bell notification on the on my other YouTube page as well as Jet Nation. That would be great. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. Let's see what's going on. All right, John Holton needs luck. Tuesday, the vaccine is finally coming to my building. I get my vaccine Tuesday. We need it in my field badly. Right on, man. Good for you. I'm glad to hear it. I hope it goes through. I hope it goes through, John Holton. Everybody wish John Holton luck. Clearly, he's in a situation where he is on the front lines. So thank you. And yeah, man, I hope it goes well for you. Sincerely. Thank you, Bumney. I appreciate it. 23 likes. How come I don't see that? Let's see. We had like 60, 70 people in here for a long time. Now we're at 50, 49, 50. But how many? I think 10 are on Facebook and 42 are on YouTube. So wherever you are, give me a like, give me a sub. I appreciate it. Johnson. Which Johnson you talking about, Greg? I know. Honest to God, and I'll tell you something about P. Ryan. Like I said, I like him coming out. I like him as one of those third down backs, tough yard backs, change of pace, kind of not your bell cow, but I like him. I think he's a hard runner and he's faster than he looks. But he can't seem to stay healthy. This is like his fourth injury this year, man. So I don't know what that is. I'm chalking everything down to the Gase effect. He didn't have that same issue so much in college. Well, look, Joe Montori, here's the other thing. If you want to check out my my RV life and everything that I'm doing, I have a whole other YouTube world. It's called One Ride at a Time or RV Theming. If you go to YouTube and type in one of those things, it'll take you to my page, and I do all kinds of reviews of theme parks, and I do shit that I'm doing in the RV. I review RV parks, all those kinds of things. And I'm still building that, but I have probably like 40 videos on that page as well. You can see all my other happenings, my RV world, my theme park world, because as you guys know, I tell you all the time, I'm on a full-time tour to ride every coaster in the country. That's my goal. I'm 184 in, and I have 550 to go, or whatever it is. See Chubb, how he slipped Bryce Hall on that? He's a slippery guy, man. That's a good running back, man. The Jaguars scored. 3:49 left. Can they score 25 more points? Can they do it in 3 minutes? Wouldn't that be great? Bengals losing 31-27, 2 minutes left. Chiefs pulled ahead of the Falcons by 3 with 54 seconds left in the fourth. Falcons got the ball. Wow, the Steelers, you are right. You are right. Steelers with a monumental comeback. Holy cow. They were getting shellacked. God damn it. I hate the Steelers. But not like the Browns. I hate them. Although I'm rooting for these damn assholes to win. Come on, score a touchdown. Keep this tank alive. Oh! Baker Mayfield sucks. That's right. Let's take care of our own. I mean, just lose this damn game. Is that what you're saying? Let's see. Let's do this. Windows. What about the idea? Trade with San Francisco and then take Davis and Humphrey in the first and Wade early. Isn't that what you did, though? They take Mac Jones. Yeah, I'm with it. Well, this is one of the things I was talking about. So, like, if we did keep Sam Darnold, let's say, and we decided to build around him, and we're trading down, acquiring extra draft capital. Look at this guy. And we're acquiring extra draft capital. It's totally realistic and smart to take and use one of those first 3 rounds on a Mac Jones or a Kyle Trask or even Purdy out of Iowa or Kellen Mond, who I don't like that much. But some of these guys, just keep them on the team. Bring them in. And let's get guys in here that can actually develop quarterbacks. And you keep Sam Darnold. You have Mac Jones in here, Sam Darnold, James Morgan. You have a young stable of quarterbacks all working on it, developing with each other, and battling against each other. You know, just bring it. I think it's smart. Oh, MC, yeah, man, I got quite a few. So here's one that I like as a sleeper. Who's that? Oh my God! Could you imagine? And Zuniga. Zuniga was getting some pressure there a little bit. I'm really high on Zuniga. I don't know. He's really starting his career slow, man. But I like him. I like them coming out. So I like Isaiah Palamau, a safety out of USC. He's not getting any press, and I like him a lot. I also like Jabril Cox, linebacker. I like Devin Lloyd. Look at these guys. They can't catch for shit. I like Devin Lloyd out of Utah, linebacker. A couple of receivers. Looking to Seth Williams. I like him a lot. He's a very aggressive hands receiver. I like him. Strong, catches away from his body like Mims. And I like DeMonte Coxey. Look into that guy, MC. You're going to like him. But I think my number one sleeper currently, he might get a whole bunch of fire and everything later. But right now, Isaiah Palamau is one of my favorite guys. I think the Jets should grab him. I think he's one of those late-round picks that are going to end up being a good starter. He's from USC, the safety.
Reminds me of the linebacker.
Zuniga. Wait, what'd you say?
That name reminds me.
Jabril Cox?
No,
DeMonte Coxey, the wide receiver?
Palamau.
Palamau. Oh, but my other one, my UVA, I have a yearly UVA watch. Last year it was Bryce Hall and Joe Reed. This year it is Charles Snowden, the linebacker. The linebacker. Charles Snowden, everybody. Take a look.
Well, Darnold's played very efficient today, completing just over 50% of his passes.
That's efficient.
Not making any big mistakes. No interceptions, only 164 yards passing.
41-17, 2-minute warning. Jags with the ball. They are toast. I can't believe the Browns didn't drive down and score. That pisses me off. What was I saying about OBJ? I don't know, Big Green. What was I saying? Give me more info. Maybe I can find it out. Was I saying I hate him? Because I do. Oh, was I talking about the trade that my source told me about and that never happened and everybody hated me and beat me up for 6 months on it? That one? Oh. Come on, Ward. You got to be able to catch stuff, man. Yep, John Holton. I'm telling you. Come on, Ward. You got to catch that, dude. I agree. I agree with this statement I just put on the screen by John Holton. I think Joe Douglas is – guys, we're only seeing the beginning. Let's not forget, he had one draft. His first offseason, he was screwed. He couldn't do anything. He came in – he arrived to the New York Jets with handcuffs on, okay? That's what he did. His whole first 8-10 months, he had handcuffs on. What the fuck was he supposed to do? But what he did do is he started building the offensive line and the defensive line. Now, Greg, Mac brought in Quinnen Williams and Fadu Kasi. We'll give credit where credit's due. Now, in fairness, those guys shouldn't even be on the goddamn team because we should have had different picks to help Sam. But it is what it is. But bringing in Franklin Myers was all Joe Douglas. And he's good. Obviously, Zuniga is starting to show up a little bit. I think his ceiling is probably situational pass rusher, but I liked him, man. I liked him in college. The knock on Zuniga was injury, not talent. Completely different player from the guy who preceded him at Florida, which is Ja'Kai Polite. Ja'Kai Polite was probably more talented, but, you know, the upstairs situation, him being a schlup. Yeah, dude. You know him. This is the guy. Yeah, dude. He's 6'7", but look at his body. It's so long and he's so strong. He reminds me of Quentin Coples, like that type of a build. But he's faster than Quentin Coples, and he has more of a consistent energy. Quentin Coples was another one. He was a schlub. He didn't want to do anything. He only showed up, 25% of the plays, of the snaps that he was on the field. He took the plays off, which was the knock on him. Rex Ryan thought that he could inspire him. Look at Sammy boy. So, but Charles Snowden, UVA is a good program, man. They don't produce losers. Like, not everybody there makes it. But the guys that come out, they have a great work ethic, great mentality. Look at like the guys that we have gotten from UVA: James Farrier, DeBrickashaw Ferguson, Bryce Hall. We've done okay with UVA. UVA puts out high quality players, character-wise. They're hard workers. So Charles Snowden is my boy. I love him. If you guys like him, if you guys want to, check into him. What's up, Mike Gee? How you doing, bud? Godflesh, Herndon Bay. Yeah, look at Herndon. Look at this. There's Mims trying to do the same thing. Back shoulder. There you go.
Excellent play by Ward, but an even better play when you consider how critical this was to get it stopped on third down.
That was great coverage by Ward, man. Finally throwing it to Mims. That was great coverage, guys. You can't take anything away. The pass could have been better. Could have been ahead. I think I don't know. He's trying to go back shoulder or something. I think the pass was just a little bit short. But that was great coverage. He didn't even turn his head. He timed it. That's looking at the receiver's eyes. I don't know. I think it was great coverage, man. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, that's pass interference from fuck. I can't stand Blasson Austin. You guys with me? Are you guys with me with this guy with the fucking? I just want him to stop. Dude, we're 1-13 or whatever the hell we are. What is that? Nuh-uh. I hate it. I hate that shit. Brian Murphy, all the Giants need to do is give it to Joe Douglas, and I'll be happy. You know what I mean? Because unfortunately, our dream of them selling it ain't happening. They're making way too much money, Murphy. But if they just give the team to Joe Douglas, I'm good. I'm good. Mike Gee, you know what? I'll be honest with you, man. I don't really know much about Shaw. I really don't. So I don't have any thoughts. I'm sorry. Yeah, dude. I'm with you, Ryan. Come on! Look at this asshole. Jets ball. Dude. Browns suck, dude. Look how excited the Jets are. Who did that? Was that Franklin Myers or Zuniga? Let's take a look here. Let me watch the replay.
Franklin Myers is going to be the one that comes in and gets the recovery of the fumble, but the pressure coming from the left side. Basham, who knocks it away. Basham was the one to strip him of the ball. Franklin Myers.
Basham. Bash him. Where the hell's he been, huh? He was promising last year. Hasn't done much this year. I think he's another one I like, though. We have a nice young core of defensive big boys. You know what I mean? We really do. I know. Greg, what is this bullshit? Telling you. You know what happened? I jumped back on the tank. That's what happened. I should have just fucking shut up. I should have just shut up. You know what, Joe? The thing is, I like Neville Hewitt too, but I like him as a second string linebacker. You're never going to be, one of those great defenses if Neville Hewitt is one of your starters. I like him. I think he's a very solid linebacker, but I think we could use an upgrade there. I'm really excited for Joe Douglas to bring in some linebackers this year. I think Jabril Cox, like I said, Lloyd from Utah, Charles Snowden. I want some linebackers. I want some good, exciting young linebackers. And I don't know what we'll see about C.J. Mosley. That's a winning streak, John Holton. Look at our Jets, guys. Look at them. Look at our Jets. I think we should re-sign May. I think we should. I mean, you got to keep some leaders around. You got to keep some guys, some continuity, and some veterans, right? Because we're going to have a lot of draft picks. I firmly believe Joe Douglas is going to make some trades and acquire more capital. So what that does is you're bringing in larger stockpiles of young players, and you need some veterans, and you need some veterans that have been here. You need some of that. You don't want the losing to be for nothing. You want to get rid of losers, make no mistake. But you want to keep guys around that know what it's like to suck. You know what I mean? That's what we need. That's what we need. So May is one of those guys I think he should be retained. I'd like to see 4 years, $9 million per. Take him till he's in his 30s and see where he is at that point. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is it, right, MC? Look, we can't get lower than the second overall pick right now. So if Trevor Lawrence is gone, he's gone. Okay, unless the Jaguars pull a rabbit out of their ass for us. But if he's gone, he's gone. At least we can knock teams like the Browns out of the playoffs, man. That'd be great. That'd be great. Spoiler it all. I want to spoil everybody's dinner. That's how I look at it. Yeah, let's stomp the Pats into the ground too. Let's do it. Sam, throw another touchdown. And he's got an empty backfield, 3rd and 4. Throw it. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. How good is the coverage here? You got to get rid of this damn ball. I mean, at least he did, but. Yeah, it's all right, Gina. Since we are where we are, let's join forces and 100% across the board, let's root to beat the goddamn Pats next week, right? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Yeah, Greg, this was beautiful. We spoiled everything, even our own damn tank. Even our own plans. We'll spoil it all. The Jets are the big X factor running through the NFL right now. I'll tell you. 34-yard field goal attempt, Sam Ficken. You see that close up on the hold? Braden Mann with the slick hold there. Beautiful. Nice touch on the spin. I love it. I love a good hold. Don't you guys? I think it's such an underrated skill. A long snapper gets it and you got to go up there and grab it, get it down and spin it and put the laces out. It's not easy to do. There's a lot of stress, a lot of pressure on that guy. Braden Mann, slick. Slick. Let's go, Jets. Look at Baker Mayfield. I hate that guy. The Browns are not going to the playoffs. Can they get in next week? Who knows the breakdown? Oh, yeah, Greg. No doubt. I'm telling you, we want Cameron Dicker, the Texas kicker. I'm telling you. That's who we want. Cameron Dicker, Texas kicker. Cameron Dicker, Texas kicker. Use our 6th-round pick and grab him. You got to commit, man. The kicking game, it's like people look at it as an afterthought. Dude, it's so important, man. Your team busts their ass the last minute of the game. You know, what are they fight and claw, and they get in the field goal range, and your kicker sucks? Dude, no way. Dude, I know. John, look, now you talk about a good trade. And they traded with the Texans when they were a perennial division-winning team. You know, they were playoffs for a bunch of years. They won the division a couple years. So, you know. Yara, the score is 23-16 Jets with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game. Cleveland has the ball. So it is a 7-point game. Nice to have you here, Yara. We only got Aunt Gina in here. We don't get enough young ladies. So thank you for stopping by. Does Gase still get fired? I don't believe Gase was getting fired today or tomorrow. I just don't believe it. I think they got us here. Let's wait till the end of the season and fucking shit can him. Well, that's having the game of his career. Browns on the move. I'm so morally conflicted right now. I have no idea how to feel. I think I've just been like, I'm just like stunted. I don't know. I'm happy of everything. Jets score, I'm happy. Browns score, I'm happy. Fumble, I'm happy. I don't even care anymore. Yeah, get out of here, Slumdog. Wait, you're a Jacksonville fan? Good for you. You're welcome. At least we could help you. Can't fucking help ourselves, man. Thanks for stopping by, though, buddy. Good for you. Hey, Slumdog, if you are a Jacksonville fan, answer me one question. You think there's any chance that the Jags will pull a Bortles and bypass Trevor Lawrence and take Justin Fields? What do you think? Honestly. Merweed. Tell Gase to pack up his cocaine and get out of here. Go back down to Florida. Waikiki Beach, Cat Kapoikai. Go Jets. Thanks for being here. We do appreciate it. Teeters Gamer, as an Ohio State fan, fuck Baker Mayfield, and I wouldn't be super sad if Fields went to the Jets. If Fields has a good game soon. I know. It's been rough the last couple weeks, which is a shame because he had a great season. you know. But let me ask you, Teeters, I got a question for you too. What do you think? Do you think Fields really has a legitimate chance to be the first Ohio State quarterback to make some waves in the NFL? What do you think about that? Honestly, I'd love to know what you think. I can't show the game, Ethan. It's illegal. I know there are ways to do it, but Jet Nation is not prepared or interested in playing with that shit. Because once you get in trouble for that, you're kind of out. You know, and Jet Nation has a lot of very positive clout in the NFL and with the New York Jets. So we're not looking to stir any pots. Ethan, let me know if you need a place to watch it. Mike or Joe Batista will tell you where to watch it. Right, Joe? Wouldn't that be hilarious, Mike? Right. Travis, I agree. Gase is gone no matter what. And that's where we take our solace from. This is all what it is, man. This is all what it is. Okay? As long as Gase goes, everything else is gravy. That has to happen first. It has to happen first. Endless Tunes. I have it on good authority. Gase is gone. I trust where the information came from. It's not a bullshitter. We have good, solid information that Gase is gone. Not today, not tomorrow, and this Black Monday. Oh, my God. Wouldn't this be hilarious, Carmelo? He's coming out, but wouldn't it be funny? He's like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not going to Jacksonville. That'd be hilarious. Who was that? Farley, the safety. Did you see that? That was actually a pretty pass and a pretty hands catch. Look at this hit. Boom. Wow. All right, so thank you, Teeters, for answering the question. So we asked Teeters if he thinks Justin Fields has a legitimate chance to be the first Ohio State quarterback to make waves in the NFL. He says, I think he does. I honestly think he's smart and he can learn to become better. The direction the NFL is going, he may just become really good, but that's all speculation. No, man, you're an Ohio State fan. I trust you more than anybody else. And he got out of bounds. It's all right. They have any timeouts? Come on, Brownies. Yeah, well, good. I'd like to see an Ohio State quarterback do well. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. It's one of those weird things. Right. Well, Travis, I think if you watched my most recent video on my GreenBean YouTube, GreenBean Jets fan YouTube, there was a source at Jet Nation who told us that the Jets are well aware. He fumbled it. Oh, no, he didn't. He fumbled it. Look at these refs. They're spotting the fucking ball, and they don't even know where the ball is. It's madness. Holy shit. Ain Wayne, what are we doing? Ain Wayne, what are we doing? This is incredible. I don't know how to feel anymore. I'm battered. I am a battered little boy. I don't even know what to be happy or sad about anymore. I don't understand. If he fumbles it because Baker Mayfield sucks, why not? That's crazy, right? But where did he catch? He caught it behind the. Yeah, he doesn't have it, man. He does not have that first. Look at E-Rock. E-Rock's psyched up, ain't Wayne? Who needs that shit? Get out of here. You know you love it? Guys come here like oof, oof. They come to troll us. Don't you understand? We're untrollable, dude. No one can say or do anything to us that the Jets haven't done worse, okay? Take your troll shit and go bother somebody who gives a shit, man, because we don't. Give me a fucking break. That's right, Patrick Burns. We have the number 2 pick. Jags lost, so it doesn't matter. They're tanking, man. You see it. They're doing a tank the right way. They are not losing this chance to get Trevor Lawrence. Right? I don't care. I'm happy. I can't help it, man. I want to tank as much as anybody else, but I can't help it. This is a hard-fought game, and fuck the Browns. I hate the Browns. I hate him. Right, Thor? I'm like a little hidden nook of the internet. How the hell does a fucking troll find us? It's crazy. Right. We're the most tortured fans in the world. Brian, I completely agree. It's like, what kind of weird rule is that? So you can't fumble it and advance it? I mean, look, every rule is born out of something. So there was a situation where somebody took advantage of that and did something. Like they fumbled it on purpose or something, and they said that's bullshit. They overreacted and they made a rule, right? So that's where it comes from. But it's still kind of stupid. I like what you did there, Greg Tarr. That was pretty good. Penny for your thoughts. I like what you're doing. That's right, Holton. That's right. We're the fucking trolls. That ain't we're the trolls. You can't come here and troll us. We're the trolls. You can't troll the trolls, man. That's right. 50 years of pain and agony, my good friend. It is. It's over. The tank is over, my friends. The tank is over. It's over. Jets win. Jags lost. We're 2 games away from them now. A game and a half. It can't happen. You can't pick up a game and a half in one game. So we have the 2nd overall pick. The draft is falling together. Trevor Lawrence, unless the Jacksonville Jaguars pull a Blake Bortles-like mystery pick, or unless Joe Douglas says, hey, I'll give you both of our firsts, and they want Fields anyway, so they do it. I don't know. It's still possible. But like Brian is saying right here, we just ruined the Browns' year. Somebody tell me, somebody give me the official breakdown. Can the Browns still make the playoffs, or are they out? They're number 7. So if the Colts would have held on against the Steelers, the Browns would be out. Is that what he just said? Who knows? So the Browns need to beat the Steelers to stay that's in the 7th playoff spot. Is that what it is? Okay, thank you, Brian. I got it. All right. Got it, John Holton. They're still in. Okay, but we didn't help. We didn't do them any favors. Hopefully they lose to the Steelers and then they're out. That would make me so happy. I hate the Steelers too, but I hate the Browns more. I do. And I shouldn't, but I do. See you later, buddy. Thanks for coming by. I'll see you over there later on. I'm going to hang out here a little bit. The Browns need help. They have to beat the Steelers. Yeah, buddy. Thanks for popping by. Very pretty comment. That's the best looking comment all day. Anti-certified. 2 in this deal. Okay. Colts have Jags. Browns play the Steelers. Oh, wow. So the Colts are going to win. And dude, it's looking grim. There it is. So that's it. The Browns lose next week and the Colts win and the Browns are out. And the Jags are in full tank. The Browns are in full tank. So they would have, like MC's saying, so the Browns would have clinched the playoff spot if they beat us today. They would have clinched it. Look at Scott Parent. I'm with you, buddy. Just think. Now the idiot brothers the way we do. Who's to say they don't decide to keep Gase? They're not keeping Gase though, Jim. Look, I know it's a legitimate fear, and I have it too. Like I said, the information that we received this week at Jet Nation, in my opinion, is solid. And the information was Gase is gone. The Jets are well aware, the entire organization, including ownership, is well aware that Gase has been a monumental failure in both development and team building. Player development, and team development. Like, he's been a monumental failure. He never brought in a quarterback coach, never brought in a legitimate offensive coordinator, and that said, he thought he was going to be able to hold up the whole thing by himself. Not only did he not hold it up, he failed. Not only not holding up the team, but each player that he was supposed to develop, namely Sam Darnold, he failed. That's right. Fuck them. Hey, Joe, fuck them right where they eat their eggs. That's where you do it. Yeah, Ed Figueroa, I hear you, buddy. But here's the truth. We lost it. That was last week. This was just the last nail. So it is what it is. We still have the number 2 pick. We can't lose that. So now we're bouncing through, knocking people out of the playoffs. I'm in. The Patriots are already out. But it'd be nice to stomp them at the end, wouldn't it? Yeah, hell yeah, Big Frank. You know we'll be here. You know we'll be here. And don't forget, Monday night, 10 o'clock mock, live interactive mock. We had a great time last week. There was like maybe 40 of us in there pretty consistently. We had a good time. It took about 40 minutes, and we got a good mock done. You can actually go see it on my site, YouTube, GreenBean Jet. It's up there. You can see just go to the end and watch who we finally at the end got. We accepted some trades. We turned down some others. This week, what we're going to do is we're going to make the mock as if we're keeping Sam Darnold. What would we do assuming that we're keeping Sam Darnold? So that's what we're going to do, this mock. So 10 o'clock mock, GreenBean Jets fan. And we'll be here next week, man. For sure. Let me see. What are you saying? Fumble never hit the ground. Could it have been a lateral to Hunt? I don't know. Well, we'll never know. See what all the analysts do when they rip it apart. You guys ever watch the All 22? I watch that all the time. I love it. I love just watching the plays from those angles and stuff and keying in on the guys I want to see. Look at Jamison Crowder, huh? Caught one, threw one. How great is it, though, guys, before we separate for the day, how great is it that it was put in Baker Mayfield's hands to get 6 inches and he fumbled it? Huh? Doesn't that make it better? That's right, Brian Gonzalez. That's the word. If you listen to Matt O'Leary is my Zach Wilson guy right now. And he seems to like him a great deal. So, and I trust that. So I'm going to be looking into him, Adoram, right? Exactly. So let's see. Let's see what we think of this guy. We'll watch him. Look at his game tape. You can watch the highlight reels too. See what that's all about. Maybe that's our guy. Maybe we're Zach Wilson. Maybe we trade back a little bit, catch a little bit of extra draft capital, and then grab Zach Wilson. Wouldn't that be interesting? FaZe Bursey. Well, that's what we were talking about earlier, man. Could you imagine if they decide at the last minute to pull what the Browns pulled, to pull what Dorsey pulled, and say, you know what, we're not taking the main guy, we're going to take Fields, or we're going to take Wilson? Wouldn't that be the best? No, that's a different report. Jim Batista, just so you know, that was a La Conforta report. It's not really a report. He just said there is thinking that the Jets could. It's not a real report. So that's what these guys do. They try to make their thoughts sound like news, and that's what that's what they do. But that was never news. I found that surprising. That idea. I mean, I would love it. I don't care. The sooner that we guarantee Gase is gone, the better for me. Because like we're sharing in here, a lot of guys, rightfully so, feel like it's like there's still a possibility that we keep him. See you later, Joe Montori. Thanks, man. Lots of contributions today. Thank you. I appreciate it. So the sooner he's fired, the better. If that was today, tomorrow, I'd be happy. I don't care. But I think Black Monday is when he gets fired. That would make me the happiest Jets fan in the world. That's right. At least Sam got a little vengeance on Mayfield. Right. Thank you, Corsello. I do. I agree with that.
State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Really? That's so.
What do you mean, FaZe? You think this is the best coaching staff we could get? Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. I got you. Yeah. I don't know, man. Gase needs to go.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Yeah. Joe Beningo's an idiot. You guys do know that, right? Joe Beningo. That's it. Highly skeptical, loves to win. Look, I went into this first 3 quarters, like as we shared, we were all talking in here, but it's like I wanted a loss. That's what I wanted. I wanted us to I wanted us to continue the tank and still have a shot. But once it looked like it was just weren't the teams all pumped up, they want to win. We're beating the Browns. It was like, all right, let's flip it and see the positive. And all right, Brian, I'll see you, buddy. It's just like we can't go any lower in the draft than we are now. So it just is what it is. Let's have some fun. Watch our team get excited and win. And let's see them, knock teams like the Browns out of the playoffs. I would love it, man. Fuck the Browns, guys. I would love it. E-Rock, thank you, buddy. I'll see you next week, or I'll see you throughout the week. But next week, don't forget, we're here. And, guys, pop in for the 10 o'clock mock. It's going to be fun. This week, we're going to build around Sam Darnold and see what the draft looks like. E-Rock's the best. We're going to win next week, too, and now I'm rooting for it. Yeah, I saw that. But we have to – right, I'm with you, Dean. But you got to think, who is it that we can already interview college coaches. So who is it that we want to really interview, that we're in such a hurry to interview? They can't – anybody going to the playoffs they're not going to accept the job before they're done, right? So we know that. Who out of the teams that are not going to the playoffs do we want? Joe Brady? Joe Brady is not a real candidate. I want you guys to know that. I know a lot of fans like him, but the Carolina Panthers are picking 4th or 5th. You know, I mean, yeah, I know McCaffrey's hurt and all that sort of stuff, but it's like, dude, the guy's been an offensive coordinator for a year and a half. You know what I mean? He wasn't a full offensive coordinator at LSU. And even if he was, let's give it to him. That's still only 2 years as an offensive coordinator. Once in college and once in the NFL, and you want to give him the keys to the Jets? Fuck that. No way. So he's not a real candidate. Okay? Arthur Smith is a legitimate candidate. Dable is a legitimate candidate. Salah's a legitimate candidate. But I don't know. I don't see that. I don't think anybody's getting hired right now. I think teams they're gonna set up their interviews and they're gonna go where they're gonna go. You know, they're gonna interview and do their rounds and everything and see what the best place is for them. That's what I think. But I'm with you. That was the only reason I could justify what that report was saying, right, Dean? Joe Corsello, I'll see you, buddy. You have no clue. Yeah, I'm with you. I just gave you some clue. I don't know. Urban Meyer, New York Jets. Look, who wouldn't want Urban Meyer? Lincoln Riley, that level. I'd love it. I'd love it. I just don't see it as all that real. But I think it's hey, man, let's see what Joe Douglas puts together. Like I said, the big news coming out of the legitimate, what I believe is a legitimate report from Moggles at Jet Nation, is that this is about to be Joe Douglas's team. The Johnsons are absolutely comfortable with him, and they know what they have in him, and they're not going to fuck with him. They understand that he knows remarkably more than they do, and that he's incredibly well-connected and well-respected around the league. So they're not going to tinker with that. They know they don't know what the hell they're doing. The reason that CJ did it with Gase is because his big brother was away. He tried to take over the shop and show that he's worth some shit. That's what it was. And McCagan's a weak GM, and he knew that. So he took a shot. You got to respect Chris Johnson for taking that shot. You know what I mean? But he doesn't know what he's doing, and that's evident by what he pulled together. The uniforms are mildly okay at best. I don't hate them like a lot of other people do. But, that's what he did. He did the uniforms, and he hired Gase. The only thing CJ did that was good, and this is via Gase, was hire Joe Douglas. But so the good news is that the Jets are about to, on Black Monday, fire Adam Gase and hand over the keys to the New York Jets to Joe Douglas. And that is the best damn news we could have ever received for 2020. That's it. It's the best. No, Trevor Lawrence would have been good too, don't get me wrong, but that's about as good as we're going to get. All right, Reaper, I'll see you, buddy. Hey, you got a stream tonight. Text me. Send me a DM of the time and place, and I'll check in. Okay, man? Later, Greg. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up too. You guys are the absolute shit, and this was a good one. I'm really happy to have spent this time with you guys. I'm sorry again for last week and ruining the tank. I am aware that it's my fault, so I'm sorry. Adoram. Please, not Marvin Lewis. We'll talk about that. That's too big of a can to open this late in the game, but I hear you. I don't hate it like you do, but it is what it is. I don't think he's going to be our head coach. So anyway, guys, once again, please subscribe to Jet Nation YouTube. Please go to my GreenBean Jets fan and subscribe there. I could really use it. I'm still floating around 100. I just started it. My podcast will come out every Tuesday. Hopefully you guys are listening and enjoying that. You can get it pretty much everywhere podcasts are. I don't have Apple or Amazon yet, but I do have Google and Spotify and Podchaser, and all those guys are on board, just waiting for the okay. But love you guys, man. I had a really good day with you today. I'm happy we were able to spend this time together. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you at the 10 o'clock mock GreenBean Jets fan, 10 p.m. Monday night. I'll leave you guys with this. My Christmas card pose. Boom. There I am. What do you think? Cousin Eddie GreenBean. Yes, I'm wearing underwear. All right, guys. Take it easy. I'll see you all next week.